right. Woo! Good to see you guys. How are you? Yeah. All right. Hello and welcome to Penguin Live, where you have the best seat in the house for the best magic in the world. I'm your host, Dan Harlan. Thank you so much for being here. The gentleman that we have with us this time was originally born in France, but moved to England, where he's gained an international reputation as one of the world's finest close-up magicians. As a matter of fact, he became a member of the Magic Circle, and then they made him a member of the Inner Magic Circle with Gold Star, the most prestigious honor that they bestow. And not only that, he also won the Magic Circle Magician of the Year. Among his other accolades, he's also won the Colombe d'Or in France. I believe that's right. And then he's also the all-winner of the Champion Cup in England. He also fooled Penn and Teller. Many other credits to him, but one of the other things that he's done is he's performed a few times for the royal family, and we'll talk a little bit later about that. And he was kind enough to grace us with a performance last night, and you'll see pieces of that. Please welcome Etienne Pradier. How are you?
Very much, Dan. Lovely French accent, Dan.
Yeah.
La Colombe d'Or.
That's the one.
Oh, that's right. That's perfect.
It's easy for you to say.
I'm actually no French. I'm from Birmingham in England. So anyway, so welcome, and Tim is in the house. Tim, a good friend, Tim. So and before I start, I just want to say thank you very much for accepting me to do a lecture, Dan. It was a pleasure. I had a great time yesterday. It was a full house, and I had fun, certainly, you know. So I would recommend anybody in Europe, if you want to do a lecture, is a good place to be. So no further ado, I'm going to show you a very quick production of something. So watch close. I'll show you. I did it on my show yesterday, but I want to redo it in a proper way. So watch. I use a serviette and one coin. Watch. Watch very close. Nothing there. Watch. Hop. And here we go. The cards. And the coins, obviously, is right there. Oh, the bottom. So, thank you. So the things is two production I normally do when I perform at the table. When I do a lot of, my work is mainly reception drinks and around the people, and like you do in England or in America, but also around the table. This is, I think, is a great trick to start because it's a production. So you do something and people go, wow, and they book you straight away, you know. So the first thing, you need that inside here. So that's a production here. And Dan, could you help me on the guy who used to produce this
yeah, Pat Page, I believe.
Pat Page,
yeah.
That's it. Pat Page used to do that. David Stone had a gimmick right there, so you could put that on a gimmick. I'd never really liked the idea because it's kind of on my way, you know, but here's like that. So more I used to do it, but now I'm getting fatter and fatter, and it's getting more hard to put the bottle. But anyway, so you got a pack of cards. Normally I would pull my sleeve, so make sure there's nothing there, so it's very clear. You take the coin, you do a fake palm, fake transfer, whatever you want in your hand. You just pretend the coin is in the cloth, you do that. Now the first production is that. So you drop, the coin is still here, you can place your hand underneath the cloth, and you're going to go right in your top pocket where the card is, right? So you come back, and if you could see that, like that, and you put it from here, and you come up. So on the front, it will look something like that. So you show the coins, you place it, it's here, you drop, you re-pick up a serviette like that, the left hand go underneath, and now you go straight on top pocket, but you cover like that, and you go straight on top. It makes no sense because it looks like it comes from on the back, but if you do very quickly, the production, I think, sell, yeah? So you place it here. Now the reason I do that, because I can drop a serviette, and I'm in a position to produce a bottle. So I'm here, and I just go cross, take the coins, pretend to take the coins from the sleeve, and you just pull it like that. And your hand with the coins go underneath, and you produce a bottle that way. Yeah? So it's a very clean production, and you put the bottle like that, and it's done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any question on that? Anybody have a question on that? No? Okay, we move on to the next tricks. My famous fingers moving on David Blaine levitation. It would be better without the table, actually. The next thing I want to go, I do a lot of card stuff when I work, but I also do a lot of classic magic. And for me, it's very important. My magic is all about entertaining people, rather than tricking people, even if I'm going to trick them. But for me, it's very important to entertain people. And if I don't laugh, I'm not happy. So I will make a lot of jokes. In a lecture, you probably don't, I will not come across as a funny guy maybe, but when you work, you get a lot of opportunity to make jokes, you know. So maybe I'm going to show you a routine I did. The lady who's just there in the house, would you come and help me for 5 seconds? I want to redo this routine live to give you oh, please sit down. And your name is?
Hannah.
Hannah. Anna.
Hannah.
Anna. So in French is? Anna. Okay, great. So I use this knife. So you can see the knife. I will call it a knife because I'm from France and I don't want to tell you what it is because it sounds like I would swear. You know. So watch. It will bend slowly. Watch, Anna, watch closer. Yeah. You look very impressed, right? And that's why I won a lot of prizes. You could actually bend it very slowly, so you could see like a slowly bend. And it does bend, right? So you could see a real bend like that. Yeah. But it doesn't really bend, yeah? You could see it's absolutely nothing. And this is not plastic. This is absolutely superb. You could also do with a hand. Kind of your right hand is the same. You could actually bend fingers, right? Oops, sorry, beg your pardon. Sorry. Are you okay? I think I'm going to get, oh shit. Sorry. Let's screw it back on. Whoops, sorry. One more time. Perfect. Are you okay?
I'm great.
Because you got a big boyfriend. I don't want any trouble, right?
I'm great.
Oh, ex-boyfriend, okay. So I'm going to quickly go on the presentation because for me, routine is very essential for me. It doesn't give credit here because you have to have a lot of people around and the timing is very important. It's all about timing and why I do it. So let's say you go I will also never use a fork or whatever from a table. I will use something, I will use the other way around. I will use something on the table. I will never bring my fork. I know people do like a nice bending things, you know, and it's great. But for me to take something, say, hey, I'm going to show you tricks with my fork, it doesn't sound good for me, you know. So I will take that. And if it's very hard, I will know, and I can't bend it for one reason. I will do maybe this gag like that, just to give you the effect is bend, but you can't do the bending, right? So the first thing I will do, I will take that, and I will do a couple of gags to get reaction, maybe, you know. I will do that maybe. And at one point, I will do the bending. So the bending is very, very, very simple. You place your hand when people laugh, you just place, and you push it down. That's all you do. On a half beat, and you leave a fork, that situation. So now if you look here, it's already bent, right? So the first effect is that, and it looks like it's actually bending, right? And you could even amplify by doing that, yeah, a little bit more if you want, and you show, so you let them react, and you say, oh, and now you're going to rebend it the other way around, so you place 2 fingers like that, and 1 finger's on top, and you can push it, yeah, straight up like that, and you just straight up, and it looks like it's just back to the same position, right? Does it make sense? Now, the reason I do that is because if you could actually bend a knife or whatever solid, you can say, oh, I could try with your finger, is the reason. And now in the head, you think, well, it actually is going to actually bend my fingers. Now, I use this technique with your hand, if you don't mind. You could do with your hand, but this is nice. So you go like that, and you're going to snap your fingers very loud, right? Like that. But you need to turn the hand face down. Because if you do that, may I as well said, did you hear me clicking my finger? So if you do that, you have to, with the left hand, bend, right? So it's a visual effect with a sound effect together. Now if you do with the thumb, it's the same principle. You go like that, yeah. So you move it forward, yeah. Does it make sense? So are you okay? I don't want any trouble, you know. But you could do it on stage, and there's great reaction. And people will ask me, you know, after a party, they said, oh, could you do that trick with fingers? And the kids will be lying like that, 25 kids, and I go, hey, go next year, hey, go next year. There you go, moving on, quickly, got time, one more time. And now the reason I do that, because if I did that, I feel sorry, right? So I use the reason to give you drinks. So I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to give you drinks. And that's how I do the breaking glass. Now, it's important you have that gimmick. So it's a gimmick, it's just things like that. And how do you get this gimmick? You could buy it in a shop, right? I think some people sell it. I don't. Why do I go backstage of Penguin Magic, and I take exactly the same glass, and I take a knife, a serviette, I put it around, and I snap the damn thing, right? So now it's just break, right? So it's break like that. But it's very sharp, so you have to be very careful. So you will see if you go to a toilet in Penguin Studio, I wrap it off to make sure it's really smooth, and I put www.davidstone.com. Yep. So he get the blame next time. And now it's very smooth. So that is on my right pocket, right? And I said, I'm going to give you a drink. So I produce the things, right? So it's in my fingers like that. And I take the glass and I just go straight there. And that's the noise, right? Now you go, and now it's very important, the little detail there. I don't know if I was swearing a little bit, because for me it's natural. If you break something at a party, you're not going to do like David, maybe Guy Hollingsworth from England, famous magician. Let's say I do that, and I go, oh, I'm awfully sorry. I do apologize for my bad behaving. It doesn't look natural. So for me, natural, I would say, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Maybe no, do it properly. But now I take the gimmick, and I do the noise again, but now the two movements. I go like that, and this hand will drop a gimmick in this pocket. So make sure the flap as well is just down, right? So you go, sorry, I do it from the top. You break it, say, oh, sorry. I go like that, and I do that. So they think I'm putting the glass and the gimmick. I drop the gimmick in my pocket, and I come back straight away, and I go like that. I screw the things, and I don't put it straight down. I just go, oh, I'm sorry, one more screw, down. Is in two movements. So the visual effect is wow, and that. And did you get that? Did everybody got that? And that's really important, the momentum of the party. You go bang, 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 bang. And it's in one thing, and people will remember things happen. Now, you could also do that, and I know a lot of people do that. You could break it and take it and put it in your pocket and take a lighter and go like that. But that become a trick, right? It become like a trick. You can't do that. And oh, look at that, I got superpower. I melt the glass together. And for me, it makes no sense. It's better to do as a gag, as a mistake. And you don't make a big deal. So you just break the glass and you go, oh, I'm sorry about it. I'm like, and you go, sorry, let's move on. And you move on straight to, and so people will remember that. And I have people in England, you probably know where, but we have a lot of weddings. And they do like a heart, like a beautiful heart. And all the glass is a shape of a heart. Have you been to England? So you may have seen that, right? So it's like beautiful. So it's kind of the nice things you do. So you go to a party like that, and imagine it's all the glass, and it's a waitress, and you go up, and you don't tell them you're a magician, and you come, oh, hello, how are you? Oh, oops, sorry, beg your pardon. And you go, sorry. And you go out, and the waitress will always look at you, and she starts to do that, because she doesn't really understand what's going on. And the manager come around and say, what happened? I don't know, that French guy just broke a glass. Oh, which one? And both of them, they're doing that. And he said, and it's kind of funny, but it's childish, but I like it. Give it 5. So it was great. So maybe we could have a question from
yeah, we got a question here.
Etienne. Where did you get your inspiration for gags and humor and being commercial? Was there a magician in France or in England that made you want to do?
No, I think it's probably a good question. It's my dad. I got good credit to my dad, because my dad is a very open person, and he will say hello to everybody. He will crack jokes all the time, but in a natural way. And for me, my magic is very important, and I will talk with Dan about that in detail a little bit more, I think, is you have to be very natural. You have to be and true to yourself, and don't try to be somebody you're not. So comedy comes naturally, I guess, but you have to judge what's funny, and by experience, by doing a lot of party, you will get jokes who work, who don't. So I take a lot of risk with jokes. Sometimes jokes will don't work, and so I will just don't do it again. But I try to be for me, magic is to be with my friends, and with a group of friends. You do a lot of jokes, people laugh and things like that. When I was 16, a couple of years ago, I'm dyslexic. And I was making my friends laugh, so I just carry on the same sort of things by doing my job. And I think it's very important. If you're natural and nice with people, people will book you because they like you rather than liking your magic. Of course, you have to have strong magic to people remember, but I think they will remember more you rather than the magic. I'm a really strong believer on that. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Okay, so the next thing, I did a tricks. We'll probably show it on a video. 2 spectators, and one of the guy end up with a card in his hand, and the lady on my right, I remember her name was Cheyenne, with a lovely red hair. So I don't know if we could see a clip of that. So we're going to do a card trick, and Logan, right, you're going to help me out.
Okay.
So you're going to place your fingers like that, yeah? And with the other hand, you're going to touch any card you wish, right? Any card you want, Logan, yeah? Okay, any card you want. This one, just touch it, right? Because we don't want, it's going to be a mystery card. Watch. You could hold it in your fingers like that. So everybody you can't see. Can you see the cards like that? Good card. And lady, you can say stop any way you want.
Stop.
You got it? 7 of spade. I'll cut it in one hand. Is that the same card, yes or no? What card did you see?
2 hearts.
Watch. Oh, you got it? Show to Sheehan. Hey! So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because for me it's a very important moment in my magic, and I think it's very strong there. Why is you basically you have the effect is that you say stop any way you want. The card is remember you just palm the card in your right hand and give it to somebody, right? So that's the effect. But it's two things here. For me, it's very important when you work with a group of people, when you have like 5, 6 people around you. For me, I personally think it's important to push the attention or the trick to somebody else. So let me try to explain that in French. So for me, if I do magic, and because after that routine, I'm going to do like a lot of disappearing cards and reappearing and very strong visual effect. But I don't want people to say, oh, I can try to show off too much. I don't want that. So it's why I give the card to somebody else, and people will ask him, how did you do that? Did you feel that? So he becomes the attraction rather than me, right? So it's 2 ways to do it. And when I perform my close-up, when you have people around, I will go like that. Say, stop. I said, do you remember your cards? I will do a Charlie cut to distract the attention. The card is picked by somebody. I say, is that your card? No, what was your card? So, for instance, it's a 4 of diamonds. I say, 4 of diamonds? I don't have it. Check him. Oh, he's got the card. So he will go, hey, I got the card. Wow, well done. And people say, how did you do that? I don't know. Come on, tell me. You're a magician, and you got a lot open door for gags, right? So, and you got opportunity to jazz it and things like that. I say, oh, that's great. Give me 5. I mean, one day happened, the guy came up and he had it in a sealed envelope. I said, what the money? The guy was a magician, right? So I didn't know. I was like, well, great trick, man.
Have you ever had it happen that the person doesn't know what to do? They just don't take the card?
That's a good question, because sometimes you could be like that for 5 hours. and you give him 20 quid, he'll take the card,
yeah.
Right? But it happened. So it's important 2 things. When I take the card, I will push the elbow or whatever you want on that guy, so he knows. Because if somebody push you like that and he'll give you a card, you have no option to take the card.
Yeah.
Now, you always have to keep an eye, because the guy will take the card like that, and you could see he could take the card and hold it like that, or he could put it in his pocket, and quite often they do that, and they come back like that. So you know that's the best ending, because you said, well, I don't know, but sir, look in your pocket. My pocket? And you go, me? Moi? Yeah! Because he wants to get the credit, right? So it's like, wow. And that's the best option. Some people hide it behind their back and say, oh, behind your back, and oh. And they look surprised or something. But like I said, it's really open to all different options. So you don't know what's going to happen. But 99.9% the guy will take the cards, you know. If it's like I said, sometimes they don't take it, but you just repalm the card and just, in my pocket, I had the cards, hey. Not that good, but here you go, you have to do something, you know. Now, the next thing I was doing, and I'm going to redo it properly, because it's in different phases. And this routine, I do that all the time. All the time, that's the first routine I do with cards. And so the first thing I do is to pass the card to someone, and the next thing is that routine. So I say, okay, I'm going to show it again. But this time, you could take another card. So the guy take a card. Let's say this time is a 6 of clubs. The card is placed. Reshuffle. I'm doing a fake shuffle here. So the card is still on top. I'm going to take the cards on top before, wrong card. And now I'm going to use a technique from Bernard Billis. If you watch a card like that. Watch My Watch from Bernard Billis. So Watch My Watch is a great routine. I've done it for years. So you take a double. So let's say the 6 of clubs is on the second card. You place it underneath your watch, this position. And that fingers will go contact the card and pull the cards back, right? Okay? And you just close the pack, and the cards come in view, right? So the movement is that you show the double. You place it underneath your watch, and you do that, and you move. Now, it's very important is your left hand go away, right? So if you do that, don't do that. Do it again. Don't do here and take the right hand away, because it looks like you're just picking up something, right? So it's better, to my view, to do that, so 2 cards, and you just find the cards in one hand, and you go, and your left hand go away and just look at the cards, touch the card if you want to, and now the card is in view and is right there, right? So the next thing I will do, as soon as I just show the cards, I say, how wow, and I will do a bottom-top change to come back to the selection. So come back on that. So, wow, you let them react. You do the bottom-top change, it's just push with your fingers on your left hand the bottom cards, right? And the cards go on top like that, and the fingers in contact of the bottom cards, and again, the left hand take the cards away, and you just produce. So the effect is that. On that face is, oh, let's go back to the same card. So, 6 of clubs. Is that your card? No. Oh, sorry. 6 of clubs is the card. King of clubs, is that your cards? No. Let me see if I could find your cards. Hop. Oh, here, 6 of clubs. And you come back and say, well, it wasn't. It was actually the same card, the king of clubs, right? Does it make sense? Yeah. Now, the next things, as soon as I'm here, I will do that, and I will do a one-hand top palm, yeah? One-hand top palm here. And I drop the cards in my hand, obviously on the way down, yeah? So you don't do like that because people say, hey, I saw that, mate. All right, don't worry, I've been paid, move on. You show, you go, in my pocket I also had 1 card. Now you show the cards, the kings, yeah? Let's say that's the same cards. So you drop it like that. So I'm going to do it again, but this time visual. And now you do the one-hand top palm again, but visual. So by moving a bit if you want, but like for explanation, I will no move. So try to get a good angle. So one hand top palm like that. So you do it very quickly. You go, oh, that's a bad angle for that. Can you see on the front? That's it. So you show a bit of a card. You go, up. Look like the card disappear. You take the card like that. The card is still palm. Go straight back in your pocket. And you show again for the second time the same card, right? Now straight away, as soon as you place it, I will do a bottom palm for the bottom card, right? I'm here, and I drop my hand on the side. And I show, I say, oh, I'll do it again, but this time. And I make a really like suspicious move, like I'm just palming the card, and I go like that. So they think I'm taking the card. I go, yeah. I said, no, only nothing in my hand. Now we'll do the David Williamson move. I show the card. I go, up. It's back in my pocket. Oh, really? And I look at it. I say, yes, it is in my pocket, right? And now I will do this move like that. So I show the card. Very quick back palm. Yeah. So a back palm like that. Just a quick effect. Show the cards again. Place it underneath. And now all the cards will go. I show my hand, totally gone. And I go back in my pocket, and you have all the cards in your pocket, right? So the David Williamson move is you have the card is on top. Let's take the same cards. You just push the card forward, like that, and you're going to take the block underneath here, and straight away the hand will come back here to hide the thickness. Go back in your pocket, take the top cards, show it, like that, go underneath, and you got the cards right there, yeah? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're back.
Now, the only difference is that when you're putting the deck in your pocket, the card is face up on the top of the deck. Do you do anything to correct that?
Okay.
Or you just bring it out face up?
At one point, yeah, you're right. Right. So it's here. I'm doing the move here, and I just take the card, it's face up. I just
straight out. Yep.
Yeah, yep. Like that. And as soon as I'm here, like I said, I'm always hiding a tiny little effect, because I could have literally do that, and it's done, right? But I much prefer to go, here's a card, and up is gone, and it's back, and it's here, all the pack, and just adding different things. But I want people to go, wow, and people said, man, I feel like drunk, I said, like so many things happen. Drunk, man. And I take all the cards here, right? And you could do straight away back. You say, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you, it was the same card. No, honestly, it was only one card. And you could do it twice in a row, and sometimes people go, wow, So it's a great move, and I use it a lot. So thanks, David Williamson. Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Yep. And there's one phase I do a lot as well, and it probably don't show, but I will try to explain. And the lady, would you like to help me one more time? Is that all right? Hey, she's coming all the way from over there. Okay. On my right this time, if you don't mind. I'm going to show it to this lady, just to show the idea, and after I will go for a presentation. So maybe for the angle, a little bit more forward like that. So whenever you say stop, I stop.
Stop.
Do you remember your cards?
Mm-hmm.
Was it red or black cards?
Black.
Black cards. Okay, here we go. Watch. Slowly, yeah. The joker. I take the card. Is that the card you saw? What card did you see?
10 of clubs.
Okay, maybe it was my fault, the temple. So now, and let me explain that, because probably here it doesn't work. But did you see anything happen? So the reason it doesn't, and it's very important here, the card is selected, the 10 is controlled with, so let's say you say stop here. So this time is a jack of spade. I do a pass, right? A classic pass like that. So the card is on the bottom. Now you just produce any card you want from the middle, like that, and say, is that your card? And as soon as she said no, I'm looking on your elbow. No, always on the left hand, because I want her to do that. I want her to move her eyes like that. So as soon as she do that, I go like that. So she look, and I pretend to take something, but look, my left hand just turn the pack over, and I show, and I say, and I leave my hand here, because I want you to, she thinks I got a card. I say, what was your card? Is that this one? She said, no, it was the jack. And now she look, and it's a jack, right? And now, as soon as I've done that, because the pack is like this way, right? So I will take the top card, and I do a half pass to all the pack, and I'm ready with a double. So the double go underneath there. That's where I do the watch my watch. I show this one, the 2. So that's the same. And now I look at the elbow, but now I do a bottom palm, and I go, hey. And now I will take the card from your elbow. So it makes sense, because the first time you pretend it's a card, it was no card. But the second time you actually take the card. And all these little things happen in your hand is very powerful for people. They go, wow, how did you do that? Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And I do a lot of trade shows, and trade shows is great for that, because if your people pass through and you said, hey, and they look, and you pick it up from their sleeve, and for little moment they go, wow, it's very strong. We forget how strong is little things appearing from here. I don't do under the ears. I think it's a bit naff, you know. No, but in the elbows like that, and you say, oh, thanks, I was looking for this card, and people go, wow. So I think little things like that. Just one thing I didn't do in the lectures is another move I use a lot, is this one. So this gentleman, you say stop? Stop. Do you remember your cards? Okay, so I do very slowly, watch. This way, watch my hand. Is that your card? Yeah. What was your card, sir? The 5 of clubs. Okay, so now you can see the 5 of clubs, right? It's the same move, but you do it on the way down. So the card is controlled by a pass, right? So it's on the bottom. I'm here, I do take any card from the middle. I like that because it looks like a bit of skill, you know, like, hey, this guy's good, man. I wouldn't like to play cards with you, baby. And here you show from here, and you're going to do that. That's all you're going to do and turn it. But now, if you notice, I didn't do that and show it straight away. I try to angle the pack in your view so you can see. So I'm show the card. I said, is that your card? No. What was your card? And you tell me the card. And now slowly I will just make the card so you could see which card is your card, right? So, and it's a great effect, and I will come back on that on a routine I do, and I use this move a lot because it's very quick. If you want to do a quick trick to someone, said, hey, tell me stop. Is that your card? So remember your cards, you do the pass and say, watch, here you go. Bang. Is that your cards? No. What was your card? And you show the cards, right? It's visual, straight, no messing around, and it's also, it's based on misdirection. You have to be able to do misdirection like that. And this is a great trick to learn misdirection because you just do it and make sure you don't get caught. If you don't get caught, you know when to do the move, right? But the move is you can't really see it when you move it down. Can you see that? You can't see it, right? So that was things I didn't do in the lecture. I want you, it was another routine I was doing yesterday with, I think, can I do something right in your hand? I did a thing called the test of love. Stay with me, because I'm going to do a special trick for you, but you could choose the man you want. Is that your man right there? Yeah. Hey, man, come around, you have to come around. Appreciate it, thanks, appreciate it. Come on my left, sir. Yes. That's you asked me to hypnotize your wife earlier on, yeah? Yeah. Sleep with a... Please, sit down, siéntate. And this trick is very easy to do. It's called a test of love. I don't know, you probably don't know, but I used to be a priest in England for 1 week, and I got caught. So, but I didn't nick any money. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what I did. It's a test of love, right? So how long have you guys been married? Oh, hey! And see in a bit, boy, I like your style, baby. I like your style. Okay, here's a pen for you, lady. Here's a pen. So taste of love, I shuffle the card like that. You say stop anywhere you want. Yeah, anywhere you want.
Stop.
And oh, the two of hearts, right? So you can sign your name on the two of hearts. Is that right? Sign your name. And when you've done it, you place I will take the pen back. So here's a pen for you, sir. Now, you have to understand everything I'm going to do very slowly. Two of hearts, there's only one card, two of hearts like that. I can shuffle a card a little bit like that. And so you can choose a card, right? So any card you're going to choose, it could be the two of hearts, right? And if it's a two of hearts, people will go, "Way, it's a lot of love." And you could marry that bird, yeah? Right. So it's a sign. So you say stop anywhere you want. Yeah?
Stop.
Oh, that was pretty close. It's the same shape of a two of hearts. And if you go like that, they look a bit like the two of hearts. Okay, sign your name, sir. Sign your name. It's only a trick anyway, you know.
Sure.
Is that all right? Thank you. So here's his name, right? So two things will happen with your cards. So first page, I take the pen back, thank you. And watch very close. First thing, on music. Non, rien de rien. No. Hop, figure, it's gone, right? And your card, hey, nobody believe me, I'll place it face up, beg your pardon. I'll place it face up, the two of hearts right there. And now, I say what I said, look, I show my hand empty. I open my wallet, and inside is one card right there. Do you remember the card, the three of spade, right? And there's a three of spade right there. Now, a lot of people say to me, do it again, except my wife, no problem. But if you take these two cards together, and if these two cards stick together, that means you love your girls, right? So if the two cards stick together, sir, just double check it, turn it over, have they stick together, and you can't separate it? Yeah. Can you try? Yeah. Can you show the audience these two cards stick together? Stick together. Exactly. And that's my point. But you remember, he probably doesn't know, but 7 years ago, you used to go hard with him, right? Could you touch the card, sir? Just touch the card with fingers. And you don't like him anymore, right? Yeah, that's right. That's why it doesn't stick. So you take the two cards together and make sure they stick together, turn it over, and they stick.
Really?
And they stick. That's because there's a lot of love between you two. So I keep this card, and I will give you my business card. So when you have a party, you give me a call. I will make ex-girlfriend disappear. Yeah?
Thanks.
There you go, buddy. It was good. Thank you very much. You can go. Thank you. Okay, so for this, this is a very routine I do all the time, and I think it's not new. I mean, at anniversary walk, I think it's great because you give something to somebody, and they will end up with the cards, and so the bride and groom or whatever you want to do it, and they will keep that, right? So you need obviously a face-to-face card, yeah, any cards you want. Now, come back to the move I did early on like that. I use this move for that tricks. I did not do that on a from yesterday, but let me explain. So let's say if the card is an 8 of clubs and a 3 of diamonds, 8 of clubs, 3 of diamonds, that's on the bottom of the pack. You could have the 8 of clubs and the 2 of diamonds, normal cards on top, right? So 3 of diamonds, beg your pardon, I'm dyslexic again. Because 2 of diamonds is 3 of diamonds in French. Yes, it's like in England they drive the wrong side of the road, you know. Okay, so 3 of diamonds and 8 of clubs on top, right? Okay? And now you can force these 2 cards. So basic force I use all the time is to be sure is say stop anywhere you want, cut the pack, and you swindle the pack like that, and you just push the bottom card. Can you see that? Yeah, so it's a very classic card like that. Can you see again from this side? Yeah. So you just swindle the bottom cards and end the cards, right? So you do that twice. So I say stop again. So for the lady and the man. So now in this case, they will have the 8 of clubs and the 3 of diamonds, right? Now you have to remember which one is on the bottom. In that case, is the 8 of clubs, right? So you will say to the guy, oh, could you take your cards? Remember, make sure I don't see the cards. And you make a little guy say, oh, which one? Oh, the 8 of clubs, ladies and gentlemen. And now you're here, and I'm going to do the same move, but revealing the double face cards, right? So I said, 8 of clubs. Oh, you forgot to sign your cards. And at this point, I said, could you sign your name? So if I take my pen, he will sign your name on a double card. So let's do a cross like that. Here and here, right? So you say, oh, thank you. And now as soon as I push the cards back, and I do how do you call that, a half pass? Yeah, a half pass. and I refund the card straight away, like I pretend I did a mistake, but I can't go all the way because this one's got no name, right? So I stay just here, and I turn the card face down, the 8 of clubs, so they think it's a name, but the name is on the bottom, right? So you show the card a little bit, and you turn the hand like that, and place it this way. So it looks very natural, and you push it in. So as far as they think, you just show a card, they sign it, and you put it back the right way, and it's somewhere in the middle, but it's on the bottom now, right? And now the next thing you need to do is to do you peel the bottom card, and you do a half pass to the card. So now it's become the free, right? And you do the same move. Place your card right there. Oh, and here's a free of diamonds, everybody. You do the same move and say, okay, you sign your card as well. So she signed the double cards, right? Here's the double cards here. You do the same move. So I'm in this position. I do the pass here. Oh, refund the card. Look at the card, the free of diamonds. And again, I do that really cleanly. And I push the card, and I'm done, right? So the 2 cards are signed on the bottom, and they touch the card. They certainly fill the cards, and they have no idea they actually signed the double card, right? So now I go on a routine. I got different way I go to this routine, but one way I like is the test of love. It's like, oh, how long you've been married together, and you go on all, because for me, you could go on you could push it a little bit, because in the end you will know you end up good. The guy and the lady and the guy will have a card, so they all make sense. They're all happy, happy. They're all in love, and so blah blah blah. So one thing I'll do, I will before I start, I will leave my wallet on the table, and inside the wallet I'll have a double face card, right? Double face card here, right? And I will close the wallet and leave the wallet on the table. And that I start from here. So let's say you do a straight cut. So now the double is in the middle. I would say, look, I'll show you something. It's quite interesting. I will take one card and you show the card to this person. And in this case, I will pretend it's a free of diamonds. I say, hey, it's a free of diamonds. So I will drop it in my wallet. Bang! And now I will take your card, the 8 of clubs, and I'm going to place it face up. And if it's true what I said, I will look like that. So I find the card and I show the 8 of clubs. Exactly what I said is going to be face up. Normally I would place it in their hand, but in this case, like yesterday on the performance, you saw it, place it on a glass is always good as well. So it's the double cards, right? And I said, did you remember I dropped one card, the 3 of them, in my wallet? So now this is very important. You pull your sleeve, you show one card inside the wallet. So it's like a disappearing and reappearing in the impossible location. You show the cards. Okay, you can't show it in case it's a very good work from my good friend. It's a beautiful work. So you place it like that on top, and you can turn it over. Yeah, Bonto move, I think it is. And now you reveal the 3 of diamonds. I will always place the wallet back in my wallet because for the finish in the end. Now the next move I do is that I show the 3, place that on top, and I do this move like that. So you just push the cards back. So you show the 3, and you show the 8, right? And you could do it again. You always place this one on top. You do the 3 and the 8. Now I will place the 2 cards in the middle. And I will do that move. So I leave a little gap here, and my fingers will push the double cards here. Yeah. But when I push it, I'll explain. When I push it, I just try to push it and keep a break as well. Yeah. So I get the break right there, and I go, watch. Could you hold the 2 cards together? If they're together, I could ask somebody to hold that corner, and the other one to hold this corner, and they pull the cards. They're together. But I prefer to do. Hey, I touch the cards. Oh, it's tied together, right? Time they do that, I will do a quick pass to bring the double cards back on top, right? So now you let them register the effect. The card is stick together. Say, wow. And you place it on top, and now you got the 2 cards together, right? So you place it on top and say, oh, could you touch the card and touch the card and separate again? Now you redo that. And I think it's quite nice because it's like they saw the cards stick together and suddenly they can separate again. It's like, wow, hang on a minute. It was really, and you do the same move again. You say, oh, take the 2 cards together, and they look at it, and it's done. And now I do the Gary Kurt move. I love that move, and I use that for a lot of things. So you said, oh, it's a bit suspicious card. I'm going to put it in my pocket. And you just repound the card straight away, and I go straight in my wallet, open my zip and the wallet, and I said, here's a card. You give me a call anytime you want. And they got the same cards, right? So now they could keep the card. And, well, the reason I do that, and because it's, if you realize there's a lot of things happening. One card appear in my wallet. Wow, it's impossible. They stick together. They went in my pocket. They went back in my wallet. It's kind of crazy things happen. And just pad it up. and there's too many things happening. And in the end, they said, "Wow, hang on a minute, these two cards they actually stick together," and that's the way I sell the tricks, right? Thank you.
Now, before we move on to anything else, we had someone in the audience
Yes.
who expressed a desire to ask a question about something that you did earlier.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Yeah.
On the card trick where you did the peek and the palm and handed the card to the fellow that was sitting to your left,
Yeah.
do you have a card selected little comedy with him to start
this
the trick?
is a very good question. I forgot to tell that because I forgot to say that it's two ways to do it. Like the first way I'm telling you is to palm the card, push it, and give it to someone. But if you want to make it theoretical and a little bit more magical, I do this effect. And if it's a young man, a young boy, or whatever at a wedding, and I say, "Oh God, you're going to do the tricks," but just touch a card. And I picture, so you get the picture of this guy holding this card like that, invisible card, right? So they think it's nothing, and it's clearly see, and everybody saw it except that person. But if you work as a group of people, I will hide, so the boy will be here, whatever. So the picture is, the guy is here. Could you come and help me for once? I'm sorry, she's helping a lot. So maybe you come here. So touch one card. Now the first move I do is that. I just do a very simple vanish. I just pretend to take the card and I'm just going to push it back, right? With my fingers or normally these fingers right there. So I just pretend to take the cards. It looks like it's invisible. Give me your hand like that, this hand, and all the cards. So now everybody see that. Now this is nice because you got this picture, somebody holding nothing, right? And the next thing, well, I'm going to kind of hide. If you come here, maybe it's probably easy for the camera. A little bit more back. So let's say you have people, I will come behind her, right? So when I got the card selected, so they see that, and suddenly I got the card selected, I cut it here. She has no option to take the card because she's like that. And now when I reveal, that's what they see. So they saw that with nothing, and the next thing I see, they saw that. And suddenly the card just magically appear in her hand. And I say, "Well, turn the cards over," and that's the same card. So I think, thank you very much. Give a big clap. She was great. Both way work, but I think the way, I like this idea of somebody holding nothing and suddenly having something is just magical things. So people kind of react. They go, "Wow," both way work, So it depends on the way you want to do it. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm going to go to the routine with a banknote, and I'm going to redo live because I want to do the full routine I couldn't do when I was performing yesterday for a couple of reasons. But let's say, sir, have you got $10 I could borrow? $10? Anybody have you have $10 I could borrow, sir? I'll give it back. Oh, the guy, it could be anything. 20 would great. It would be great. Thank you. Appreciate it, yeah? Hey, Dan, we're going out tonight, baby. So the idea is very simple. I'll show you the note. I pull my sleeve, and I'm going to change it, right? So I change it to 50 or $100. What would you like? 100. Would you like it in one bill or two bill? One or two? One. You could have two bill if you want. Two bill? Okay, so two bill will be, yeah. So two bill, $100, right? Now the idea of that, and I will show the little film what we did yesterday. I give the opportunity to the guy, so I don't know if he was here yesterday, but he could have won the $100, right? But you have to guess my number between 1 and 5. Very simple. You look in my eyes, guess my number, and you get $100. What's my number between 1 and 5? 4. It was 3. I'm sorry, so you didn't win. So the money I have to change back straight away, as is to be the same 20, right? And the lady who just been helping me, come around like that, because come please come around, because you could have a go at it, but you have to give me a number between 1 and 100. Pick a number.
75.
Well done, you won the $20. Yeah, big clap, she was great. Yeah, by the way. And now I'm going to ask somebody to name a currency. Which currency would you like to name? So another country. Euro. Euros? Would you like 50 euros or 100 euros? 100 euros. And would you like it again in one bill or two bill? Two. Two bills. So 100 euros in two bill will look something like that. Yeah? Yeah. 100 euros. It's a new one. If you notice on the back, is a map of Europe and is a good big cross on England. Now we're going to move on. That's a Brexit for you. And you change it back like that. It's a good trick of a movement you do in England, but I will go over that in detail later. So let's go back on that because you could name any currency you want. Let's say this gentleman, what's your name?
Jake.
Name a currency around the world. Which? Pesos. Right, pesos is great. So watch my hand. 1,000 pesos, all right? Yeah? 1,000 pesos. So you can see 1,000 pesos. Thank you. I'll change it back. So exactly the same money, and it should be right there for you, same $20, right? And that's done with absolutely no thumb tips whatsoever. Ever. Thank you. So the reason I did it again is because yesterday I slightly got it wrong because I couldn't put all my bill in my pockets because I was doing other things as well. But when I perform, I certainly do this routine all the time. And I got a reputation for that because I think it's one of the stronger routines you could do on the table. If you go to approach the table and you could change any note to any currency in the world, people will remember that. Now the method is really simple. I use obviously a thumb tips, and I use quite a few thumb tips. Now, I had a slightly problem in America, so you have to find your system. In England and in Europe, it certainly work better than America because the currency, I couldn't figure out which one the common currency you will name, right? You said euros, pesos. In Europe, we don't have pesos. We don't really, hardly people will name pesos. So they'll use euros. So I use this system here. I got, let me see, I can do a recap. So this system is called a bureau de change. It's a very gross gimmick, but it holds about 8 thumb tips. 4 thumb tips with 8 different notes, right? So you got 4 notes on the back and 4 notes on top, right? That's in your pocket like that. You have 2 thumb tips with money in your right pocket. So in that case, I got 2 bill of $100, right? And I got the euros 2 bill of 50, right? And I also got some here. I got some pound on this one, and I got some what do you call it? This one, Swiss money, right? So I got about 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. And I got 15 around my socks, 20 in the back pocket, and 500 here, in case. But the way I work that system is by working a lot. And if you, the problem is I don't know if the system will work in America the same way it work in Europe. If you have somebody in your influence, in a group of people like this gentleman, name a free currency around the world, except dollars, right? So you have pesos, Australian, euros. You see, this is my point. You start to struggling when you start to find which currency. So in America, in Europe, I know which currency is going to hit 80% or more than that, 90%. They will go for Indian money, right? We go shekel for bar mitzvah. We got Russian rupees. We got American dollars. We ask a lot, rather, it's more and more popular than euros at the moment in England. And you got Chinese, yen, and all sort of things. So I know this system works in England, and I absolutely eat all the time. And the move is very simple. I use this classic move, changing banknote from, what's the changing guy, the American guy?
Yeah, that's the Kozlowski switch. Yeah.
Yeah, so I use the basic thing. The only thing I like to do is I don't stay still. Because if you stay still like that, you will have at one point you're going to push and you have this movement like that. So I will do it, let me go back from the top. I will do on a movement. So normally I will go $20 like that, and I go here and I move left. Now I go here and I take the money, I open it like that, and I move like that and here. And I don't push. This point is really loose here, very dangerous moment. Because when I open it up, and that moment when I open it up here, I'm going to push the things together when I open. So it could happen, then the thumb will drop. And it does happen sometimes. I'm here, at one point I open it up, and the thumb drop on the table like that. But at this point, do never, ever panic, because they don't know what it is, right? And I found a way to do it. I go like that, and I look at my thumb, and I go, oh, sorry, beg your pardon. And I put it back on. And they go, what happened there? And they think I'm doing the old tricks, like the old guy like that, because they saw me I do that all the time. And I said, and it's really funny, because you go, oh, I'm sorry. He didn't see it. And move on and do the trick. And people don't do that. They don't react. They go, wow, that's a funny thing. They don't know, hey, that's a thumb tip from Malakazam, is it? $19 was it? They don't. So you do the change, and for me it's really important the gag. Every time I do a gag is for a reason. I don't do a gag just for no reason, unless I do a little gag, but I use gag for cover something. So this, for the example, I said, would you like to win the $100? Give me a number between 1 and 5. Whatever number you said, 3, I will say, oh, sorry, it was 4, apologize. And I will give the opportunity to another person to win the money. And as soon as she win it, I go, yeah, thank you. And give me another 10, give me another 20. She can be lucky twice, She's got a lot of gags here. And this one I would take the money. But the reason I do that is because I'm changing thumb tips. So I'm already with euros, right? So they laugh, and they're not looking at me. They're laughing at you because you lose and she won. So I got already the 20. Now I'm already there, so I'm well ahead. Now it's a challenge because now I'm pushing. And in England, if you change £20 to 50, the next thing will be euros. Now more and more will be dollars, right? But I challenge. I said I put the euros, expecting you're going to say euros, and I had a hit. On the video from yesterday, the performance, they said pound for one reason, and I had the euros. So if I say pound, I say, oh, I can't do that, I'm sorry. And I just go like that, drop the money, come back here, and I got the pound, right? So it's a lot of movement. You say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, let me try. And now I got the pound straight away in my fingers, and you could do the pound instead of euros, right? But you don't, and you could do body height, and if somebody, you could do that one. And let's say you have just a very quick things. If you want to take money from here, you don't need to put your hand in your pocket. You could, but you could go from here. Yeah, here. Look, I already I'm looking, so I know which one it is. You could feel from the back, and I'm already got one from tips, right? If you wanted this one, let's say, inside your pocket, you have to go inside your pocket, and that's what will happen. You just drop this one, yeah, and the thumbs will go right on top of this one. Move it across, drop it in things, and pick the thumb tips, and you got it, right? So it's very, very easy to do. And again, you do it when everybody's talking and say, oh, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. What do you think? I'm a magician, and I've done it, right? Now, is another things I do is very good, I think, it's slightly, you don't use the thumb tips. So can I ask you to help me for 5 seconds, sir? Yeah? Is that all right? You come in, if you don't mind. So let's say we go back on the dollars. Let me see, where's your dollars, sir? You give me a 5, yeah? Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. It's a 20. Okay. So let me go like that. So hey, what's your name?
Jake.
Oh, Jake. Yeah. Cool. So let's say I got this money from a fixer. I'm finger palmate, right? It's right there, right? So I got the things, and I don't use thumb tips on this one, and they say pound, right? So I got that here, and I say, oh, I tell you what, give me a hand like that, and that's what I do. I take the money here, and I'm going to take so keep your hand like that. I'm going to literally drop the pound in your hand. So this is a very simple change. It's from here to here by my thing. So I'm changing these two notes. So on a real life is, oh, I'm going to take that, put it in here, but at the same time, I take this hand and I cover your hand. Now I'm already pound the other one, and he's got it. And he said, you say pound, open it up, and open up so it's pound in your hand, right? Now, and it's nice because it looks like they've done it in their hand. Now we'll take the knot, and I will, because I got the other knot here, and I will fold it, and I said, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it back, and I do a simple change like that. How do you call this change?
Spellbound, yeah.
A spellbound change, yeah? So spellbound change, and I give it back the money, and the guy is gone. Thank you. I take the money because it was mine. Thank you.
So Etienne, probably early on when you were doing that, you probably had to use some cover, a gag, or a line, or something.
Yep.
If they named something you didn't have, it probably doesn't happen that often anymore. But what?
So that's a good way. And again, this system works in England, right? I use normally I will go on that side. So let me explain to you. And also it's based on a very good principle. I'll take this note for example. Hang on. So let's say one guy will challenge me, and he's going to name something very bizarre. So you be the man. So name a currency you don't know. So any currency you don't know. Real, right? So I take the money and say, you want real, right? And I will change it to real. Wash my hand, and look, here you go. I open it up, and yes or no, yes. Open. Sorry, it was on the wrong way. Real, right? Now I do that real. The reason it works, because it's not, this is a Chinese money, right? But if you don't show some metun on the back, yeah? because it doesn't look like Brazilian to me, really. So you show that way, and you say, yeah, the reason it works, and I found it for experience, when you ask somebody to name a currency and he wants to challenge you, he's going to find something he doesn't know, right? But if you show the money and it's not the money, he doesn't know which one, he's not going to say no, because he look like an idiot, right? All his friends say, well, you don't know what it is, you said. So I show, I say, yeah, and he goes, yeah, oh, that's great, thank you, because he doesn't know. He doesn't even know what they look like. So you show his name. And you could do it again. You say, name another currency, Iraqian. Hey, Iraqian, thank you. Oh, wow, that was great. And it always works like that. And you get the hit. So you get a note who looks slightly different, and I'm sure it will work for any currency. But it's, Gary Kurtz used to do the nodding as well a lot. Yeah, he did. And yeah. So that was the Bureau de Change I do all the time. Thank you.
I think we've got a question up front here.
Yes. So you showed the gimmick, and you said that you, in some cases, would slide the inside bill to the outside and then put the other one in. What would happen if the first one that you slid out is later asked for by someone?
That's where I will do the change in the hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I will just look around. Now, if important, I will not do it more than 3 times. So the first time I will do with the system with pound to euros, and after that I will, if it's a challenger, if it's going well, and I will say, oh, name another currency around the world, and I will go for it, and I will do like, I can't do it, I'm sorry, and I will get it. But if you do 3 times, people will start, no, you're going to pick it up from there, and they say, well, you pick up the note somewhere in your pocket. So I don't think you should do it. Now, another things I do, just a quick point, just to remember that one of these thumb tips, I always put, depending who's in the room. So if I go to a party, there's a lot of Australian people, I will put some Australian here, because on this suitcase, I got like 100 of notes. I got nearly all the currency. And that's really important, because I remember I did a big job with a friend of mine, David Jarr, and we went to this party, and he was a guy from an African country, I can't remember whether it's Tongo or something like that, and I had one of the notes, and he was the president of that company, and we knew he was going to do it. And as soon as the guy said, and my friend said, where are you from? He said, Tongo. And I knew he was going to ask for the money. So I went to pick it up, put it in the thumb tips, and I went behind him, and I pushed him, and he knew straight away. So he took the thumb tip with Tongo money, and he changed it, and he was like, wow. And it was exactly the same money he asked. So it's nice to have a lot of different notes, and just, at one point, if you have a lot of Australian money will come up. But if you have a lot of English people, use my system, because I've done it for years, and I know that will work. Yeah?
I think we have another question. If we get the microphone.
Several times you asked if they wanted it in 1 bill or 2 bills.
Good question. I forgot to mention that. For me, it's really strong. What I want to leave people with is name a currency, name a value of a currency, and how many notes would you like. So let's say you said $50. I said, do you want 1 or 2, right? Most of the people will say 2, because they think it's going to be more hard for you to do 2, right? So you're well ahead, and you got, so most of them I got 2. If I said 100, I said, you want in 1 bill or 2 bill? And they say, oh, 2 bill. Again, it's more difficult to do 2 bill. It makes no difference. It's actually much easier, because I got the 2 bill. Like on this case, I said, I think you said 100 in 1 bill. I'll ask a question one more time. Do you want in, you don't want, you could have 2 bill if you want. Now again, he's going to say, he's going to stick with 100, and you go, okay, I'll do 2 bill, because I don't care. And you move on. Sometimes I pretend, oh, sorry, your accent from France is terrible. You make a joke, and you make a joke, but you get it as a 2 bill. And a lot of people said, oh, maybe he said 2 bill. Wow, So you just play by it. For me, it's not a big deal. I'm never really worried if it's but most of the time I will get it on 2 bills, and 50 or 100, Yeah. Did you drop off some tips? Any question?
I think we wanted to know. I think that was it for the Bureau de Change.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Right. We want to talk a little bit about the wallet.
The Carlson wallet, yeah. So the wallet I use is a GB wallet with a pocket like that. Jerry O'Connor. Very easy to load. And the reason I use that all the time is I think it's the best wallet in the world. So you could do the envelope as well there. I got a badge as well, police, national. You park your car better next time, yeah? So you get the card in the envelope. But I think why I use that, I found you could put a lot of things. If anybody have a mobile phone on you, like a small mobile phone? You have a small one? You have a mobile phone? Well, small, yeah, come along like that. You have a, let's say, I'll take the cover. Can I take the cover for 2 seconds? I'll show you something interesting quickly. So I don't want to break it. Is that all right? Yeah? I'll let you do that because I don't want you. All right. Thank you, sir. So let's say that you always have a party. People said, oh, can you do tricks with my phone? Can you put the phone inside the bottle, yeah? You know, like the famous magician in England. So let's say you're the guy, yeah? So you're funny and say, come on. I said, hey, magician, can you put, so you tap on my shoulder, yeah? And he said,
can you put this in a bottle?
no, thank you. So we're going to move on to the next. I tell you what, I can't do that, but I'll give you a chance to do this trick. Give me your hand like that, and I take a pack of cards, and I do that. Say stop.
Stop.
And name a card.
4 clubs.
That was pretty close. It was the 8. Thank you. Appreciate it. So you lost your mobile phone. But inside my wallet, I take my wallet. You have a zip, and you could have this phone because I don't use it, right? And you could have the phone. Thank you. So the reason it works is because if somebody asks, and it's just the point, it does go. The whole mobile phone go inside here. You have glasses, you could put anything. But that's a great trick to do for a mobile phone. It's Gary Kurt again. You move like that and you put it back in your wallet. And I found people say, oh, can you do this trick with a phone? Yeah, all right. And you do that. It's just enough to impress people because something open inside the zip is a mobile phone. People go, wow, is that real, my phone? Yeah, and I look at it. Oh, you got a photo of my kids. Well, so you get a lot of and this thing is quite funny. You name a card, you place, you lost, So you could play with that, but that's the reason I use this wallet. And you could anything you take from when you take a card, look how quick it is. You just open it up, and the card is still inside. Yeah, it's no. What is nice. I don't like to do. I saw people do that. They go like that, and. They go here, they can't even put it in, and they go here. And this is, you put it, as soon as you take the wallet, it's here, yeah? It's already there. So it's just a little bit out. And sometimes you could push it to make sure it doesn't come out, and you open it up and it's inside. So it's very, very cool wallet to have. It's of a function as well. I don't use a Malacre function as well for me, yeah? So there's a lot of difference. So, Jero Connor wallet. Yeah? Thank you. We're going to go back on the clip I did. It's the tricks I did. I call it the very easy tricks. Very simple, right? A lot of people will show you tricks. I'm going to take one card, the Jack of Diamonds, right? Can everybody see the Jack of Diamonds? I'm going to leave it here. Actually, you could examine it. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, a lot of people will ask you, pick a card, It's not this sort of tricks, There's better tricks. I'm going to show you all the cards like that, and you're going to think of one card, right? So I'm going to show you a card like that, and when you see a card you like, you tell me. So tell me, which one would you like? Yeah, the one you see. Tell me. Just tell me which one you want. The Ace of Diamonds. Oh, that's the Ace of Diamonds? Okay, so that's it. So I make a bit of space. I take the card, the magic card. And what happened? One card's turned blue, right in the middle, right there, and will be exactly the Ace of Diamonds. Blue card. And if you take this card and place your hand on the Ace of Diamonds, and now watch close. Yay. Oh, sorry. Oh, only kidding. you have to do very slowly. So you actually change position with the Ace of Diamonds. And in your hand, lady, in your hand, double check it. And let me see. She got the Ace, he's got the Jack. Yeah? But the important bit, if you watch the Jack, if you remember the Jack, yeah, it used to be a different color, yeah? So it wasn't blue in the beginning, yeah? So watch close, you can see the card, yeah? And it should be changing exactly as to be the same Jack of Diamonds right there. Thank you. It'll be 20 bucks. 20 bucks. 20 bucks, well, was cheap, wasn't it? 20 bucks for tricks. So these tricks, I love that tricks for one thing. And I always, is a name for it. Is it a special name for that famous tricks? Anybody here in a room?
No, it's a
Chicago
Chicago opener or
Chicago
or
opener,
Red
that's
Hot
right.
Mama. Yeah.
The only thing I never like on Chicago opener is you do the first effect is a cards on blue, and you place the cards on the table, and you force another card, and you can't find the cards, and they can't. I like the plot of that, but I think it doesn't make sense for me too much. So the way I change is that the setup is you have the Jack of diamonds, yeah, and you also have a blue Jack of diamonds. So you have a two like that. The blue Jack of diamonds should be set about maybe 10 cards down, right? And the other one is placed just underneath the top cards. So you show the card, you could find the card and don't show the blue back, obviously. And you do a slip cut to take a card. So the excuse is, I'm going to need the card, slit cut like that. So slip cut is really cut the half of the pack, your thumb go on top, slit cut it. So, oh, the Jack of diamonds, great card. Now these cards could be examined, she holds the cards, the lady. And now the idea of that is don't say, oh, could you say stop? I'm not really a big fan of that, even if I use it sometimes, quite often, but I don't really like the idea. So the change I made here, I'm going to find the card. As soon as I see the Jack, like that, make sure you don't show, I just curl it, right? So I just curl the Jack, the blue Jack, and I carry on pushing the card. Now in this case, it's not pick a card, it's just thought of any card they want. So let's say on this case, find the card, say, which card would you like to, just name a card. So they say the 9 of spade. The card is placed, the blue card is placed just underneath, and you carry on feeding the cards underneath. So you sure you want a 9 of spade? Great. You want to change your mind? Yes, no, forget it. We keep the 9 because I'm set. I don't want to slip. And I find the card like that, and now I got the blue deck. I'm prepared on a double, right? So I just do a double, very simple double. I show the 9, select card. And I just turn it face down. I push the cards on the table. I say, place your hand or wherever you want. And now you do a top change, very simple top change. But you do, first you go, bang. And I make an excuse, say, hey, only kidding. And that's why I do the top change. Always my left hand go, never do that. Yeah, it's obvious, but I don't like to do that. So it's always a left hand go. It's here, left hand. And watch, change to a 9 of spade. They turn the cards over is actually the Jack. In the meantime, I take a break on 2 cards, right? And I take the 9, like that, take the Jack, scoop it up, show the color, place the Jack on top, the 2 cards on top, and take a block of 4 cards, right? Take a block of 4 cards, pull the Jack of diamonds, show it's a blue pack. And for me, it makes sense because I said, but you remember this Jack of diamonds, it wasn't blue in the beginning, and you do a paint change, right? So you go like that, and at one point you could push a block of 2 underneath. So you go 1, 2, 3, do a push. Better like that. You show the 9, and now this is a moment where you don't want to push more than 2 cards. So just 1 card you push off, and you show the Jack of diamonds is come back to exactly what it used to be, red. And for me, it makes more sense because it's like that. And now, if you want to clean up, Guy Hollingsworth, a very good friend of mine, used to do that, and I think it's a great move. It's a 1 hand top palm here, like that, on a second. So with the little fingers, you push the bottom cards here like that, yeah? And you're going to adjug the blue card. So I can't do it slowly, but it's here, and you just push the card so it's coming slide right. Can you see that? It's coming out, so it's basically coming out here, right? And as soon as you're here, you just take the cards back here, and you got the blue cards in your hand, right? Not necessary, but people like to have a cleanup. So you're here, and you said, oh, let me see something, and you got here. And you got the cards, rid of the blue card if you want to. So that was the easy card trick. I want to do something I haven't done on a lecture, so would you like to help me for one more time, sir? Is that all right? Give a big clap. It was all the way from the other side of the room. Maybe on the other side. So we're going to try this trick together, man. So pack of cards. Would you like to shuffle the cards? Sure. Right? Good shuffle, right? That's good. That's a good shuffle, man. Okay, so I'm going to be very easy. Come a little bit closer. I'm going to ask you to say stop.
Stop.
Do you remember the cards? Was it a red card or black cards?
It was a red card.
Okay, here you go. 6 of spades. Oh, sorry. I must have the 9 of diamonds. Give me your right hand for 5 seconds. And for the first time, I'm going to take 1 card. Name your cards.
The king of diamonds.
Ooh, that was pretty close. Now watch close. I will make the king of diamonds. Oh, no, sorry. Beg your pardon. That's my French. Your pack will disappear. So you can show To everybody, the pack disappear, and it should be disappearing. Well done, sir. So one of the classic in magic, Omni deck. When I bought it, about 30 years ago, I bought it, I received it, and I opened the package, and wow, that's great. And look at it, and what a lovely hardwork. I put it on the table. I took my glass of wine. I said, that's great. And I never use it for 10 years, right? And every time I say, what am I going to do with that? And that's a lesson in magic where you have to listen what people said. And I think it's very important because more you work and people will tell, oh, I saw this guy last night. He was doing a card trick. And suddenly I had my hand like that. I opened it. All the cards disappeared. It was a block of ice. It was dripping of water. It was like amazing. And I'd never seen something like that. Dripping of water. Yeah, it was full of water. It was ice. No, it wasn't ice. I nearly said, no, it was that, right? But I didn't. It wasn't that bad, you know. But if you listen, people, so that means one thing. It's a great trick. People remember that. It's a strong trick. For me, it's commercial tricks. So now I try a way to do it. I just change the handling. The normal handling, you have it in his pocket, and you do that. And at one point, the pack go inside, and I think you swap that for the gimmick. I think it's like that, and you go back on top, and you set. For me, it was a little bit too much, and also because I got a lot of stuff in my pocket, it was inconvenient to do that. So I found another way to do it. It's always here in this pocket, and when I'm ready to go, I will just look for something. I just take it, put it in my sleeve, right? So it's in my sleeve here, right? And the move is very simple, but it's very effective, I think. So you go, say stop, the guy says stop. You have to control this card on top, whatever method you want to do. The card have to be on top. So let's say for this case is a 9 of heart. I will go, hey, 9 of heart, watch. In my pocket, the 9 of heart. Miscall it, and I do again the David Williamson, but now look on my left hand. Yeah, so you do the David Williamson move. Is that, look at my left hand. Yeah, it's automatically underneath, right? So it's already set like that. So it's basically drop in position in your hand. You don't have to do anything else than just hold the card this position. You drop, and it's already there, and you're done. So it's no move. And I just pretend to take the card. Say, oh, sorry, beg your pardon. Give me a hand. Now, when the guy give me a hand, it's two-way. And I see people do that, put another hand on top to cover all that. For me, it's just inconvenient to have that. So I will put my hand on top, take the top card, and I don't know if you notice here, I just use the misdirection, just my sleeve. Yeah. So I go like that. So they all look here. I just turn the card and I say, here's your card right there, and look in your hand. And because they're here, they don't see what happened. I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice in your hand? You did not, right? Because I'm showing this card, and suddenly you still feel the card, and suddenly you look, and bang, and you got the things. And people react on that. They think it was a great trick. And so it's very commercial things. And so you get the cards in your hand, but you get the effect of Omni deck, right? Go pull my sleeve. We had this, the next thing I want to go on that is called the Cossack pen is my new gimmick. But let me explain. We had a little clip on that, but I don't think it gives credit to the show. So, lady, would you like one more time to come here for 1 second? Is that right? Because I'm going to show you the basic. Oh, actually, you could sit down here. Here you go, like that. Have a little drinks. Only kidding. So here's a pack of cards. Let me show you the way I will do it properly. Here's a pack of cards. You can shuffle the pack like that as much as you want, right? That's perfect. That's great. Okay, so you can say stop any way you want.
Stop.
Yeah, and take the cards, right? Okay, no, that wasn't fair, right? It was a bit dodgy. Say stop.
Stop.
Yeah, you can take the next card. No, it wasn't good, right? It was a bit dodgy, right? So say stop anyway.
Stop.
And look, it's exactly the same move, but it's better, right? See that? Now we're going to do very simple. You're going to take any cards you want in the side of the pack. Any cards you want. Look at it, make sure I don't see it. And replace it any way you want. Okay? And now watch. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to write your card on this piece of paper, right? Okay, I think your card is a black card, am I right?
It's not.
Oh, well, that's pretty close. That's pretty close because I had black. Yeah? Okay, here we go. So I think, now don't get me wrong, I can't change my mind, but here's your card right there. And for the first time, name your card.
5 of hearts.
Whoa! spot on. You probably don't see it, but could you have a close-up on that? Yeah. In Chinese, 5 o'clock, 5 of heart, is Ching Hang Pang Hang. And that's Chinese, Ching Hang Pang Hang, right? Now, if you don't speak Chinese, I could place the light on top, and you could see clearly the apparition of a 5 of hearts. And you can see again on the camera. 5 of hearts, is that right? 5 of hearts, yeah. And this card has become a magical card. You take this card, lady, put it under your pillow, and in the morning you'll be pregnant. It's not very happy, right? But hey, you could watch a baseball game tonight. They don't see it's his boyfriend. Thank you, appreciate it. So, it's not a new concept. The concept I found, it's a gimmick, is a new concept. It's based on the friction pen, right? The friction pen, but in one pen. So you don't have to, friction pen, you have to prepare the cards, right? You have to put the 3 of clubs, and you change, you take another pen, and you put the 8, and when you burn, the 8 will change to a 3, you know, and the whole basic. And you could have that. This one you could do on one pen. You got one side is a friction, and the other one is a normal ink, right? So normal ink and friction ink. So the idea is I think it worked better because you could have an impromptu tricks. Here's a pack of cards, shuffle the cards like I did. I did a classic 4, so I knew which one, the bottom one, the 6 of heart. A classic 4, the 6 of heart, but you don't need to do that. You could say, say stop any way you want. As soon as she says stop, let's do it again. So say stop any way you want. Do you want to change your mind a little bit more? Now you do this move when you leave your fingers here and you tilt the pack, so now you know which one is there. You know this move like that? So you know, now in this case is a 4 of diamonds. As soon as I know it's a 4 of diamonds, I take the pen. You have to remember which one it is. So this one is the normal ink. I write 4 of diamonds, right? And I will automatically change by saying something. Oh, was it a black card, red card? Oh, yeah. Jokes, like a jokes, but like a little line, but you need to change it. So you need to say something. And I will write something in Chinese to overwrite it. So you overwrite it on top, right? Anything you want. And you make the jokes. Oh, that's in Chinese a 4 of diamonds. And you place a lighter at one point, and all the ink will disappear, and will come the 4 of diamonds, right? Is that clear?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you could do instantly, straight away. Now, just to give you another example, I think it's very strong and you could use it. Let's say you do a book test. The book test will be, take a book, look at any word you want. You need to know the first letter. So in that case, I haven't got much of that, but I will go from that. So in this case, you will go for the friction, right? So you go friction ink, and you will write, I will normally write a Chinese symbol. Can we have a camera on top? See the symbol like that? So I will put a Chinese symbol like that, and we say to the person, okay, I got the first letter of your word. What was your first letter? Tell me the word, but you will say the B, right? So now I know the word is because on the book, on the one I use is because, you know. So now I change the ink, right? And I will overwrite from the top. Can you see that? I will put because, okay, like that. And I will set something, because now I got because, and I got another sign with this friction. So I need to change the ink again. So I say, oh, the word was something to do with a mechanical, with like a wheel or maybe something stupid. People said, no. Oh, really? So I made a mistake. And now I overwrite on top. So I hide because, right, with some Chinese symbol or like that. And I said, here's your word. What was your word? Because. In Chinese, because. Ha, ha, ha. And now you place the lighter, and all the words, all the letters will disappear, even including the first letter I did in the beginning, and we leave the word because, right? Can you see on top? And that's a great thing, because you don't have to prepare it, and it's visual. You get the word, but it's just magically appear like that. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So where do we get the pen?
I sell the pen. I've been selling from Blackpool, luncheon in Blackpool.
Ah.
So it's, and also it's quite easy, because you could have it in your pocket all the time and just do it anytime you want. And like, give you one more example. You go to a party. You say, well, I'm going to place 5 objects on the table like that, and I'm going to another object, a glass. Here we go. So you go 5 objects. Let me write. You're going to think about one of the objects, sir. And obviously, I will do the same principle, but I will maybe draw a glass, right? I draw a glass like that. I say, oh, maybe I don't think you will go for this one. I change the ink, and I overwrite on top of the glass the drawing. So now you got the drawing. I can't do it because it's a bit rough. And I want to force you the glass. I said, name a classical force, magician force. Name 2 objects. That and the clip and a lighter. Okay, so you got 3 objects. Which one do you prefer? The forks, yeah. I don't like the forks as well. And one of them, I take one, you take one. So let's say you take the glass, I take that, and I show, oh, my drawing is quite bad. And you take the lighter, and the glass appear from nowhere, and that's the object you selected, right? So it's an impromptu system where you could do any time you want, very quickly, and you have no worry about it. On a show yesterday, I do this gag on stage. It didn't work properly, but you do the first kiss. Did you see that? So the first kiss is a gag where you ask the person to write the first kiss. So the lady come here and say, oh, write your first kiss. You remember? So she said, okay. And I will put number 1, number 2, number 3. Shall we put the little sentence?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at it.
Let's do that
so
we could have a look.
Yeah.
I want to show you something very interesting. Maybe you could do that, right? I'm going to use this pen, and I'm going to ask you. Oh, I think I got a lighter with me. You're going to. Do you remember your first kiss? Yeah, was it a couple of weeks ago? Do you remember your first kiss?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a lady to write the first kiss. Let me see. 1, 2, or 3. Any way you want. 1, 2, or 3. So you could be on number 1, number 2, or number 3, right? So make sure I don't see it. And here's a pen for you. Just write your first kiss. Okay. Just write the first name, right? So make sure I don't see it. In the meantime, I will tell you a French jokes. Le mec, il va voir son docteur et dit, je perds la mémoire depuis quand quoi? It's not really funny if you don't speak French. Honestly. And you're going to pick another 2 names, right? So it could be, if you put John, you're going to write David and whatever. So 2 names next to the other thing. So on the other 2 numbers, I don't want to see, right? Okay. And where are you from, Logan?
Florida.
Oh, Florida, right. It's hot there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You got it? It's a bit like Scotland, really, isn't it? So, can they already see the 3 names? There's no way I could never name, but watch close, watch. I'm going to go like that. There you go. And there's only 1 name left, yeah? Can you see the name left? Yeah. 1 name is disappeared, right? So it's 2 names, yeah? And the name of the first kiss is disappeared, right? Because there's no more anymore. Could you stand up for 5 seconds? You stand up, right? Right. Could you tell everybody your first kiss?
Chris.
Turn around. No, only kidding. Go sit down, sit down. Go sit down, sit down. Yeah. The only thing I have to admit what I did on the show, I got the other way around. Yeah. Normally the word should disappear. The 2 words disappeared. The one she write should be there. So when I looked at it, I fooled myself. I got it wrong. But the concept is kind of interesting because you have so the person write the first kiss, let's say, and write different names. And when you put the things, the 2 names will disappear, only 1 name. So you don't need to show it. You could look at it, and now it's David. And because she doesn't know the other one's gone, you're the only one who knows. So you could say, let me see only. I don't think it's him. I think it's David, right? So it's like wow, 1 chance on 3, but for that person is really, wow, it's like, wow, how did he know it was one of his 3? So you say, 100% is David. And the gag is that normally I have somebody to come behind her, and I said, look behind you, and she turns, she's thinking it's her first kiss. And sometimes I had some others in England, I had people dress up and jump on them and start kissing the guys. No, it was me. Come on, darling, come on. And you go like crazy stuff. So you get the right person. It's a very good, funny gag. But it's a gag placed with an effect as well, you know. So it's got like, she said, how did he know it was David, you know? So that was the effect, yeah?
Yeah, that's neat. I really like that use of it, where the spectator's doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to do a little, one thing I really like is this tricks I did yesterday on that. Watch. No, maybe not. Is a memory. Do me a favor. You're going to take 3 cards this time. Could you shuffle the pack? Because I got a very good memory. John, right? Yeah. Shuffle the cards. This is going to be a difficult trick, but I'll try my best, right? I'm going to memorize the 52 cards in less than 5 seconds. Watch close, watch. Okay, I got it. So Logan, the first time, you say stop anyway?
Stop.
16th position must be a red card, am I right? Black? Mm-hmm. Okay. Say stop. A red or black card. I'm not 100% sure. The lady right there. You say stop anyway? Stop. You got it? Yeah. So this one should be a queen or 19 of spade or something like that. I go for 19 of spade. I cut it. Is that the same card, yes or no? Is that your card, Logan? Sheehan? Oh, that's my card. That was, it's the one who was face up from the envelope. What was your card?
Queen of clubs.
And your card?
It was a joker.
And your cards?
Mine was a queen.
Okay, watch. Hop! Underneath the glass. Free cards, right? And it should be the free cards. Name 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If you look in my pocket, I also had one card. The queen. Oh, sorry. In my hand, I got the joker. And in my wallet, I should have another one. And it should be the last one. And let me see. Oh, yeah, the free. So I'm going to go through it because it's 2 tricks in one, Pat. Card on a glass is definitely doesn't work if you have a camera because you really see it. So on a public, and then a lot of people didn't see on the show, I guess, but on a camera you cannot do that. If you do that, it's totally obvious, right? But on a real situation, they don't see it, right? So it's 2 things. I do a memory test to make I don't like to do stories when I perform. I don't know if you noticed, but I just talk like about different things. But this is a bit of a story. I'm very good at memorizing things, shuffle a pack, and I do a fan, and I pretend, okay, I got it. And I do the same free move. Hang on. So same move is that. Say stop, sir. And I'm here, and I do a push-up, the cards, selecting card, and my hand normally will go this way, like that, and I come back and collect the cards, right? So it's here, the card is here, and the left hand will go. So the card is not palm, it's just holding this way. And the cards go here, and I come back and pick up the cards, and sometimes I do that. So the free card will be controlled on top, right? The free selecting card. And I'm going to show you something I didn't do yesterday. So you take a free card, and at one point I said, I think so you make mistake, but at one point you just do that. You palm the free cards, you go down like that, next to the glass, Charlie a cut, right, to misdirect the attention, and move the glass on top, right? That's all I do. And at one point I said, here's a card right there. Now, in a real situation with a lot of people, I normally do that. My hand will go here. Sorry, my hand go there. I'll put the glass like that. I take a little break here, right? A little break on the bottom cards. And when I take the free card and I show it, I move like that, and I take the glass in the same time. Sorry, like that. Move the glass, and I put the glass on top of the pack, right? So now I show the free cards, right? Like, wow, it's all my cards. And I place the card underneath like that, and I show, and I turn the cards over, and I go 1, 2, 3, so you got the 3 cards, that's a double, and I show it. So where's the pack? And I look, and the pack is underneath the glass, right? So it's just adding another little effect. Now at this point, I do a split cut here. I didn't do on the presentation because I want the 3 cards on top, and I do the move where all the pack will disappear. It goes like that. You go that, and you say, ha, right? And I look, and I do the David Williamson again. Now I take the top cards, like that. I say, here's your card. That's the first selection. I go back inside my pocket. I take the next card, but I look like I'm looking, but I can't find it. But I look in my hand, and I just show it's only 1 card. Now I got the card is already palmed. So I drop the cards in my hand. The card look is gone, the pack of cards. And I go straight in my wallet with the card, open it up, and you got the first selection with the zip closed, and you got the first selection, and you got no cards. Everything is gone. You got the 3 cards selected, yeah? Make sense? So what was that? But I like the cards under the glass. You get away on the Republic. Honestly, you try it. And why is nice, just a little point on that. I used to do with 1 card, but with 3 cards, I found when the card is like that, I show something. Can we have a camera from the top? I think very interesting and magical when you go like that, because at this point people think it's only 1 card. If you do that, it looks like suddenly you got 3 cards. And this little is silly maybe, but it's just a nice little effect. You have a 3 card. See what I mean? Suddenly you get like the 3 cards appearing. But people go, wow, hang on, I thought it was 1 card, but now it's 3 cards. And you show it, and you say, and now you go on to the routine. Any question on that? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you! One more time I need you because I'm going to show you something right there, if you want. It was one of the little things I'm going to do it again just for you. Take one card and look at it and place it back right there. And I'm going to do the classic that a lot of magicians do, right? So here's your card like that, and you put it like that, and they go, here's your card, right? And I can place it like that. Do you remember your cards, right? Yes. So that's definitely your card, right? The 6 of spades. Could you push it right in the middle, yeah? Underneath the map. Let me explain the way I did, right? The way I did, you probably didn't see it. The 6 of spades is here. What I did is very quickly, I go like that. But I placed my hand, so I'm holding. Did you see it this time? Yeah. Okay, let's try again. And, you go the other way around, so you go the 6. So I think I could explain without you, so thank you very much. It was great again. Yeah, thank you. This effect I saw many magicians do when you got the card in your mouth. Everybody does it, right? The only thing I changed on that is the finishing. So you got the same effect, you're here, and I show the card. As soon as I realize the card is in my mouth, I do a top change, like that, and I place it straight back on top and do a double. And I say, I'm going to explain the way I do it, right? So I place it back here, and I say, when you, like exactly what I say, I palm the cards and a bit dodgy, and and as soon as I do that, and then as soon as I do that, I just do that. One top card is pushed like that, right? And I go straight up, underneath, and I find the card, and you got the cards. So it's hard to do very slowly, but you go like that. So it's here, I show the card here, and I go down, yeah, and I go, yeah. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So I don't know which the best angle will be, but it's here, and like that. So it's a quick transformation for all the pack changing like that. And I think it's kind of visual. People go, wow, hang on a minute. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, neat.
I feel very lucky today. Someone from the back, name any card you want, sir.
3 of heart.
3 of heart in French is 9 of diamonds. Yeah? I mean, you know what? I can't even see the... 3 of heart. Thank you. I mean, I should really show you. Here's a 3 of heart right there. Yeah. So how does it work? It's superpower. I knew what he was thinking of, sir. No kidding. So you place a card anywhere here. I love this effect because I use it all the time when I work. I always have the cards here. Name a card, sir.
3 of diamonds.
It was a 3 of hearts, sir. So I don't think you would work with a 3 of diamonds. I don't think I have a 3 of diamonds, to be honest. It's not my day today. 3 of diamonds, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to place this one because I feel very lucky today. And in fact, why don't you, sir, take your time, but say stop anyway.
Stop.
Do you remember the card?
Yes.
9 of clubs, am I right? Oh, sorry, maybe it's right there. What was your card?
2 of spades.
Yeah, 2 of spades, yeah. Okay. Every time you hit it. Very simple, but I think it's very deceptive when people don't know about that. So, the card is here. Any card they name, let's say the 2 of diamonds, you look at it, you curl it, right? On top, like that. And normally I will do that. I said, I can't find it. 1 on top palm, on the way down again. And I will take this card on top of that, pull it, place it on top of the pack, and turn it over, and you got the cards, right? It's very, very quick. So, let's say another example, this card is the ace of spades. You curl it, say, I can't find it. And sometimes I go, yes it is. And I take it and I show the ace of spades. The key, the way it works, is to make sure when you had the cards on top of the pack, you don't go like that. Yeah? And you have to do an adjustment. You have to be absolutely perfect. So it's why you're here, you take the 2 cards, place it on top, slide it and show. Yeah? So that's one version. You could do this version I done for you. You take the cards, you palm the cards, slide like that, right? And you go down, you look, take the 2 cards, bring it back on top. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a quick way you could do as well if I use a double. So let's say with a double, double is here. So you got an ace like that. Here's a double here. So you got the ace of clubs. So hang on, let me try it properly. So you're here. So you said, oh, I'm going to place the joker underneath my pen, right? So here's a joker right there. I'll put it properly. And I will take another card. You could fake shuffle the pack. And I'm going to use the ace of clubs, right? So now watch. Yeah, here, like that. And you change position, right? So the move is one move is two moves. So let me do a contrast card, three of diamonds and yes. So you got two cards like that. Okay, so that's a setup, right? Two cards and a free. You take the double, you show the free, you place it underneath your pen like that, and now you take the other one, who is an ace, so you got the double, and I'm using this move here. There's something on top there. So this move is here, yeah? And you move it, and you go on top like that, and you reposition the cards, right? So from the front, you show the ace, and you go up like that. So I done a move, and I put it down. When I take these cards here, the card is already changed, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's very quick move. You go from here, like that, and you reposition. Like that. So you could do as a change as well. Three of diamonds. Oh, was no you can't? Yeah. Change really quick, right? So you could use it like that, yeah. And you change, yeah? Any question? Good. Very good. I want to show you...
I guess we do have a question. We've got a question up front here.
This is kind of esoteric, but what is that move that Harry Lorraine came up with where you show and then you come down?
I think it's the halo.
I
No, it's no, the halo.
think it's
halo
something
it's
like
the
that
halo
he used
cut,
to
but
do.
What did he call
It's
that?
not the halo.
No, I know. No, but he named a few things.
Not Omni.
I don't remember what the name of
Is
that.
there something he slided like that?
Yeah, he's using the cage grip.
Yeah.
I used to do it, but
I can't do it.
it's pretty knacky.
Yeah, it's you pull it
Man,
and you
what did
come
he
back
call
like
that
that.
thing? I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the same sort of thing, but I do it on a up like that. Yeah, it's not my move. I saw it somewhere, but I use that a lot. This is I'll show you some another interesting thing I do all the time, and here's a move, but let me set it up in front of you and pretend you haven't seen it. Right? Did you see me set up a pack? It was very subtle, right? So I'm going to do. Let me see. Lady, would you like to help me again for one more time? Is that all right? Did you notice I always said one more time? And that she's been here for about 25 times now. Please sit down, lady, please sit down. I'll try to do these tricks on you. This is so. The reason I will do that because I'm going to explain one move. Let me shuffle the card like that. And you're going to... actually, I'm going to take a prediction card. Oh, the joker, right? Is that okay? So I'm going to leave it here. So very clearly it's there. And you're going to select the card as well. So you could sign your card, but in this case, you trust me, right? Trust me, I'm French. Yeah? Take any card you want. And you can show the camera very slowly. Yeah? Is that all right? And you can place your card right there. Okay. So I show one more time, right? Now watch. I cut the card like that, right? And now this is very strange, right? I can shuffle one more time. Very slowly, watch. Don't rush, right? You see that? Pull my sleeve. I just come back from Glasgow like that. Beautiful, you know? It's really hot in Glasgow, so very hot. And here we go. I will try to find your card by using feeling. So I think your card, lady, could be this one, the three of spades, right? I said it could, right? It could be the two of hearts. It could also be the six of clubs now? It's not. Maybe this one. The two of clubs, right? None of them? Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, right? And I'll leave it here in my hand. I'm going to shake it like that, watch. And first time, name your cards.
9 of clubs.
9 of clubs. So one card will be a 9 of clubs, right? The second card will be a 9 of clubs. You can see right there. The third card will be a 9 of clubs, right? Special pack of cards, yeah? And the last one will be exactly that, the 9 of clubs, right? So now I got 1, 9 of clubs, another 1, another 2, another 3, and another 4, 9 of clubs, right? So it's quite a lot of 9 of clubs, right? But I'll tell you what I could do with a 9 of clubs. I could change it very slowly, watch, to an ace, right? So that's an ace like that. And if I turn it over, it should be ace, 4 ace, right? 4 ace. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. One card, prediction card. I turn it over. And it should be oh, 4 ace. So in my hand, I should have the joker, right? The joker. And remember, this is a joker was there, but in the beginning, it wasn't even a joker, right? It could have been absolutely nothing in my hand, right? So it should be 2 ace and 1 ace like that, and last one, right? I can't believe me. And in my pocket, I got a coin. I'll do a trick later with these coins later. It's a great trick. You're going to love that trick. But you remember a minute ago, even that, it was the 3 of spade, the 2 of heart, the 6 of clubs, and a 2 of clubs, right? So your card should be somewhere. And in my special wallet, I got right there. What was your card again? 9 of clubs. A 9 of clubs, indeed. So inside, you should have a 9 of clubs right there. Whew, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I call it this one is called the Magic Castle routine. I've done it quite a few times there. But the reason I want to go through that is because this is a move I absolutely love, and I've done it for years, and there's a lot of applications. So for you at home, if you could find an application, a tricks, or anything like that, please send me a link because I would like to see that. I use the 4 aces to start. I'm going to go through the routine, but before I do that, I'm going to show you this move, right? So this move is very simple because the ESP, you got the 4 aces on the bottom, and you get a break right there, right? So here we go. So the move is simple. You said, I turn 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and the last card like that. And as soon as I turn the card, I turn them on top, and you'll have the 4 aces, right? So that's the move, yeah? So I do it one more time, maybe on this angle, like that. 1, 2, 3, and the last one. And now watch very slowly. I don't do anything then. Take the card, place it on top, and you got the 4 aces, right? Okay, that's simple as that. So the move is that. You take the 4 cards here. As soon as you got the 4 cards, okay, like that, you just pivot the cards, and you just grab the 4 cards and pull it and drop it on top, right? So it's very simple. It's based on the professor move, but a totally different approach. Like I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay, as soon as you're here, the card is pivot, drop, and 2 fingers only. Pull it straight and drop on top, and you got the 4 aces, right? Okay? Now, the explanation of the routine is because I use this move is based on that. So I'll show you the 4 aces, and you have an extra joker, like that. Okay, extra joker. So the setup is that you got 1 ace and a joker on the bottom of the pack, and you have 3 aces on the bottom. That's the setup. So 3 on the bottom and the top like that, right? So here we go. So you fake shuffle the pack, yeah, like that. So you remain the order. I do a double lift. I show the cards, the joker, and I place the joker on the table. Yeah. So the moment is a prediction, but is the ace, right? I need to reposition these cards here. I could also have a double joker if I want to, but I like to have a normal pack of cards. So milk, right? You milk the 2 cards like that, drop all the block like that, and you do a straight fake shuffle. So the joker now is on between the aces. Does it make sense so far? Yeah. Card is selected. Whatever card is selected, the 9 of hearts. I do a pass like that, and I give my left hand with the top of the pack. I place the 9 of hearts on top. This card is repositioned and controlled back on top with just a simple couple cuts. So now the card is on top, and the setup of this ace is still on the bottom, right? You do the same things. You're going to position this card in the middle. So you do a milk, all the cards on top, and you do a shuffle like that to remain the order on the bottom, right? So now you got the bottom order is 5 cards. That's the setup. Ace, ace, a joker, a selecting card, and the ace of diamonds, right? So you get a break on that. Now that's why I do the move. I select 4 cards. I pretend to do, oh, is that your card? No, oh, sure, second time. Oh, gosh, I'm unlucky. 3 times. 4th time. Now I name the card. It's quite important to name the cards because later on I will reproduce the same card. So 5 of spade, 3 of diamonds, 7 of heart, and the king of heart. Oh, it's not your card. Now I do the move, take all the 4 cards on top. I take 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to add another one, so I just clearly take 4, with a break underneath the fifth one. We grab, steal the fifth one, place the card like that, and now I'm set. So you could do an Ascanio if you want, like that, to show the 4 cards. And I said, and now you see, it's all about push-off or buckle, right? Is it buckle or push-off? Buckle, yeah. So buckle is you buckle the cards, you take the block, show the first prediction. Again, block or push-off, you could do a push-off sometime, 9. So push-off is with the thumb here in the corner, so you push. So you can show 3 cards, exactly the 9 of heart, right? And the last one, I take these 2 cards together, and I place it on top, and I show the 9, right? But at the same time, I place the 9, and I place it right on the bottom. And now you do the, is it frustration move, this one?
Yeah, frustration.
Yeah, 1, 2, you show the 9 like that, 2, 3, and 4. And the last one, I keep a break on the third one, because I want to show the 9. I didn't do it early on, and I will place it on top like that, right? And now it's something I do as well, I like, is based on the misdirection. It's not going to look good on the camera, but I will explain in the same time. You show the 9 like that, and you pretend to change this card to something. I say, watch. Now, when you blow here, that's why I pivot this card, right? Does that make sense? So I said, okay, and I do that. Oh, that changes. So it looks like, because people will follow what you do, right? So I said, 9, look, I'm going to change that. And you go, that's an ace here. And you show the ace like that. You turn it face down. Turn it over. You do an M-slate count. 1, 2, 3, and 4 ace, right? You turn the pack over, and you do 1 count for 1 card, 2 cards, and 3 cards, and the last 2 you place it on top, but I remain a break after the third card. So now I got the 3 aces on top of the pack. I stop. I just pound the 3 aces and say, oh, did you see the card, the prediction? They're expecting to be the 9 of hearts, right? So I turn the 4 cards together. I show his 4 aces, so it's like the first effect. And I look at the cards, and I very clearly I show is a joker, so the joker has changed position. And I take the 4 aces, I show it, place it in the middle, and I do this move when I jog the bottom card, and I'm going to push my fingers like that. And I said, watch, it's only 1 card, but was he here, was he not? Ascanio count like that, you show, you drop these 2 together, show this one like that, so that's the third one, the last one, and that's everything's disappear, the selection card and the joker, you show. Now, it's 2 things happen here. You take the 4 cards, all the block, and you push off 4 cards. Straight away when I push off, I place my fingers underneath for a break under the 4 cards. I take every card like that, and I do this lovely move. I got no idea what name it is, but you just said, you just turn the pack over like that. So you said, oh, do you remember 2 minutes ago, it used to be a 5, a 3, a 7, and a king. It's why in the beginning I just mentioned it, so I remember, oh, yeah, he did say 5, 3, 7, and king. Now you got 1 card is here, and sometimes I said, oh, look in your pocket, and I just place it underneath here like that. So if I look in the pocket, I said, no, oh, here, look, oh, it's a 9. So it's a lot of things. Oh, like I did early on, inside my wallet, you open it up, and you got the 9 of hearts, right? So there's a lot of things happening, but for table work, if you want to do that, slightly different than close-up, is a lot of things going on, and people go, wow. So it's different. It's not the tricks I do often, I'll be totally honest, because it's a little bit, you can't do that when you work for table, in a restaurant or corporate. But for certain situations, if people say, could you show me something a bit, oh, it's only 12 people or 15 people, say, oh, I'll show you something, and I do that. And sign card, and it's very strong effect, yeah? Thank you! We're going to have a little clip of these tricks I did early on. On the clip I did yesterday, it was a jokes I make with David Stone, fun in the cards in the fun. So have a look at it, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah. This is I'm going to try something difficult. But here you go. Watch. Maybe not. No, maybe. This is my iPhone 9. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, iPhone 9 from Apple. So I'm going to show this trick. This is amazing tricks. James, if you don't mind, you say stop. Stop. You got it? Can everybody see the cards, right? And I'm going to take the cards. You're going to sign your name again on the face of the cards. So have you got a pen? You can have a pen like that. And sign your name as much as you want on the face of the cards, right? Okay. Yeah.
On this side?
On the other side. On the other side.
On this side. Okay.
And make sure I don't see it as well. Yeah. You got it?
Yep.
Thank you. Actually, take the cards, right? Could you say stop, yeah?
Stop.
Put it back. Thank Take it. Watch close, watch. Watch. And now look, inside the phone, I open it up, yeah? It's one card, yeah? Holy shit, what do you... Oh gosh, I shot the card like that. Ah, forgot. Inside here, right? I take it. Inside, open it up. It should be the same. Same card. Okay. Right. It's quite interesting because yesterday I done the card inside the phone is for my best friend David Stone. It's called Cell. Absolutely amazing trick, and I use it all the time. But for magician convention in Europe, they know that tricks very well. But I don't know if people knew that tricks yesterday, so it didn't work really well for as a gag. But you basically is a signed card inside the phone. It's a great trick. But this is a gimmick very quickly. It's called Barking Dog. Is that, right? So the card disappear. So you could use it as a trick. You could go around the people and go, hey, I share that. Hey. And you go back and set it up, right? But it's really effective for people. So people use it all different way. You could have a white card and with a prediction and suspended with a string. And there's a lot of different ways. I've done it for years and years. And the only thing you need to do is to do a Mercury fold, right? So you Mercury fold the cards like that, and I go here. So you got the cards here. You take the cards like that, and you go on the front, take it, open it up, and there's a card. Now, it's one way a French guy showed it to me, but I can't mention his name because I can't remember his name. Like I told you, I got no memory whatsoever. But the only things he was adding on that is when you take the card, he said to me, put your hand like that, right? So it make a huge difference because by showing your hand like that with the card hiding on the bottom, you can't see it. So he said to me, put your hand like that. So I did that. And he took my clip, and with my clips, right? And he go like that. Instead to do that, he go from the top, and now you're going to push the mechanism and drop the finger cards, yeah? So you go like that, and you go. So the cards drop in my hand, so it's basically it's in my hand. And now and the clip is free to drop on the table. They never go and jump on that. But I never had people say, hang on a minute, let me check. Oh, here's a card inside. They don't, and they open the card, and it's a signed card, right? So I think it's like I say, people do that. You could also have that. You said, I'm going to take one card and I'm going to make a prediction, right? So you write something, but you already got that, so you hold it like that and say, oh, this is, I think that's a, and you take the gimmick and you just go inside and you pretend to place it, but you take the gimmick out, right? And say, I'm going to leave it here, right? And now you're already there. So this card could be dished somewhere and another card selected, and you do the same thing. You just do the things like that. Take that, and take the gimmick. And so do you remember the prediction I make in the beginning? Oh, it's the same things you signed a minute later, yeah? Does that make sense? So it's a good strong effect to finish a routine on that. Now I want to do a very special tricks, and it's close to my heart because I've been doing it for years, and it's a name for it, and I didn't do it yesterday. It's called Solo para mí. So in Espanol, Solo para mí is Solo para mí, and in French is Solo para mí. Huh? So would you like to see Solo para mí? Yeah. Would you like to come in? Hey, everybody will clap for these guys. No, $5. Okay, this is a trick. Very simple. You shuffle a card. It's going to be very, very fair. And when I say fair, it's fair, right? So here we go. So, Solo para mí. Start now, right? So you're going to take one card. You're going to look at it. Right? You can show to everybody, show to the camera. And you replace your card right there, right? And now everything I'm going to tell you is going to happen, right? So if I say something, it will happen. Your card will be in my pocket, right? So look, in my pocket. Is that your card?
Yes.
Is that your card?
No, 6 and
That's not your card. Oh.
very close.
Oh, sorry about it. It's not your card. Okay, here we go. So your card will be in my wallet. Yeah? Open it up. And yes or no, is that your card?
No.
It's not your card. Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't go very well on that. Let me see. I'll tell you about something. Your card is going to be on top of the pack. Yes or no, is that your card?
No.
What was your card?
The 6 of diamonds.
Right, look, inside the pack, 6 of diamonds, right in the middle, exactly where it used to be. Thank you very much, appreciate it. So, do you like that? The name will tell you a clue. Solo para mí. In English, it's only for me, right?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I do that, because in England, I'm known to do a lot of party. And if I do like 30 or 40 parties a month, and Christmas is go crazy. So at one point I said to you know what, I'm going to do a trick just for me. Not for them, just for me. I get bored to entertain people day and day after day. So I've come up with this routine. So the routine, the concept is very important. You have to look absolutely shit for the person you do it to, right? You have to go out after the trick and say, that was crap. But for me, you have to look absolutely perfect, right? So let me go back to the concept. So the card is selected, the 4 spade, you had 2 cards on top, right? You do a pass, right? And you said, everything I tell you is going to happen. Now I take 3 cards, right? I take 3 cards, I say, your card is in my pocket. I take the next card on top, not your cards, right? And I show you, is that your card? The guy said, no. But he is in my pocket because it's 2 other cards and your card is one of them. So I said he was there and he's there, but he thinks he's not. And I think it is, so I'm already 1 up, yeah? So now I take the 2 cards and I repound the 2 cards. I go inside my wallet. I said, your cards are going to be inside my wallet. Now I'm very careful not to take the selecting card because I want to take the wrong cards. So I take the bottom card. I said, is that your card? No, but it's still there, right? It's inside my wallet. It's inside there, yeah? So I said, oh, it's not. And now the next move is quite a difficult move because you have to repound the card is already inside your wallet. So you put it and you repound the card. Place it on top of the pack, do a slip cut, do a double turnover. You said your card will be on top. It is on top because it's there, but you said it's not on top. You say no. You place it on top, you do a cut, and say, what was your card? The guy named the card and said, oh, it's in the middle. He thinks you shit, and I think I'm good because of everything. It's a lot of move for nothing. And people go, wow, that was very bad. I say, I know, but I'm working on it. But everything I did was absolutely correct. Yeah? So it's called Solo para mí. And now we're going to show my favorite tricks called the Pablo Aces. And I will talk a little bit about a couple of people who influenced me on that. So Pablo Aces. Anyway, so I'm going to show you another trick. But before I do that, this is really close to my heart because it's the first trick I did to the Queen when I was about 20 years old. So how old are you? 32. Yeah, so I was about 25, and and it was really, you know, the Queen is quite, it's not like a President Hollande or whatever, you know. It was really emotional for me. And when I finished the tricks, and I was really scared, you know. I said, how's she going to respond? You know, how's she going to say, oh, you should do that trick to my grandchildren, you know, something like that. So I was really scared. And I always remember, since for a long time, but it's still like yesterday, right? And I always remember what she said to me, because she looked at me after the trick I'm going to show you. And she looked at me in the eyes, and she said, how the fuck did you do that? So we're going to edit that, yeah? Okay. I'm going to show you 4 cards, right? So I'm going to show you the 4 cards right there. So could you double check, Cheyenne, if you don't mind? Just double check it, yeah? Okay, make sure it's 4 cards, right? It's 4 aces, right? So up, everybody could see it's 4 aces, right? And I'm going to show you very slowly. So first thing I'll show you, 4 aces, very slowly. I'm going to pull my sleeve one more time, right? Watch close, watch. And Cheyenne, you're right there, and Sir, look again, watch. 1, ace of clubs, ace of spade, ace of heart, and ace of diamonds, right? So I'll show you again, one more time, slowly. Watch, here we go. The first one, they're going to be disappearing a bit like a French President Hollande. Watch. The first one, yeah? First one, yeah? So it's only 3 aces, yeah? 3 aces, yeah? Thank you. So the second one is a little bit more faster, watch. This one is a bit like the French football team. Watch, I'll show you very slowly. Now, Cheyenne, you're right there. Could you tell me which ace is on the bottom? Spade? Yeah. In French, it's called the ace of clubs, yeah? So watch. See? Ace of clubs, right? And again, it will disappear very slowly. So leave me only 2, right? Only 2. A third one, thank you. A third one, you could decide, Logan, which one do you want? Do you want the heart or the diamond? Heart. So you don't want the diamonds, right? So only one ace, the ace of heart, right? I should like it. And the last one's a little bit more difficult, but I'll try. Yeah. And it will be disappearing. And inside my pocket, I got a coin for. And watch, the first ace will come back, the ace of hearts, right? The second one will be the ace of clubs, right? And the third one, very slowly, watch my hand, right in the middle, the ace of diamonds. And the last one, beautiful one, the ace of spade. It's just a spade, just driving. Let me shuffle him a little bit. Have you got a good memory, sir? Sure. Good memory? Okay, so I show you 4 cards. You have to try to remember 1 card. I show the king, right? Hope you could see from the back. I show you the 8 of clubs. I show you the 3 of diamonds. And the last one is the 6 of diamonds. Did you remember one of them? Only one. Okay, I'm going to place it like that. And I'm going to shuffle it a little bit. And I'm going to ask Cheyenne to take this glass and place it on any card you want. Yeah. Thank you. What was your card, sir?
King of diamonds.
Do you want to change your mind or?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because I don't have the king of diamonds here, or here, but here should be the king of diamonds. Oh, sorry, the ace of diamonds, my accent. The king of diamonds. Yeah, I was amazing. Okay, Pablo Aces, I just want to talk a little bit about it. It's a very, it's all come up when I was doing a show at the Magic Castle, and there's a guy called, I have to get his name right, otherwise I'm going to be told off. Pablo Aces, huh? There's a guy with a hat.
Oh, cowboy hat.
No, very slim, very always dressed up nice, tall guy. Tony Picasso. Tony Picasso. You looking at me? Looking at me? Who's that? Looking at me? Impression of? Looking at me? No, it's my wife. Yeah, she's big, my wife, man. Anyway, so Tony Picasso, big influence. He showed me this routine, and every time he showed me some stuff, it's a guy, absolutely I adore his style. I mean, you like him or you don't like him, but for me, he's got something different than other magician I've seen. He's got like pure, I don't know, I can't explain. He's just blow my mind every time I see him. But when I was doing that, another guy contacted me, a Mexican guy, famous for this routine. And again, his name, anybody could help me? Very famous guy from Mexico. We'll have to say again. He does a lot of very good sleight of hand with cards, very slick. He does a lot of convention as well. It's like a game show. Who's that guy? $10. Panic or we'll drop a name on I'll drop a name. Yeah. So Pablo Aces, I changed quite a few things on it, but from Picasso and from the other guy as well. 4 aces. So you start like that. So you go 4 aces. And also, another thing is quite important. That's why I'm using that. But normally I ask in England, a lot of people wear tie, right? And you could use that tie for one move. I will show you in a minute. So again, these tricks, I will make sure it's very clear. So I'll pull my sleeve. So you go with 4 aces, right? So you start like that. You're going to steal 1 card from the top, right? So you got an extra card here from a block. And the move will be that. So first move, you show the first one. You play the top one. The second one like that. And the third one, you're going to adjog, is it? Adjog, yeah. And you hold it, and you're going to rescoop the top one. So you got this situation, you got 3 cards. I position the card in a specific position like that, and I adjust in purpose that. Show again the 2 cards back, right? So it just look like very fair. The 4 aces been shown, and you got this situation, you go 4, yeah? So the next thing is adjustment. I need to adjust the bottom card by pulling the card slightly back. Just with 1 finger if you want, like that. That's all I need, because I need a little lip on the bottom card, right? So the first move, these fingers, we're going to move from here to here and do the push. So sometimes it's nice to show the 4 fingers here and place your hand like that. As soon as I place your hand like that, here, that's where I'm going to push the card. So I'm here, I go here. As soon as I'm here, I do the move, and I come back with my fingers again in position, so you still see the 4 fingers, and the card look is gone, right? You take the 4 cards, you display it very clearly. 1, 2, and 3. So the first 8 is gone, right? Now you got 2 options. You could drop your hand on the side and do a push-off with 2 cards and regrip and get a break under the top 2 cards. or you could just position like that, and one finger's just on the corner, just peel 2 cards, and you get a break again. So it depends on the way you want to do it. Now I take a block of 5. 5, only 5. Now you could show the top card is now an ace, you could show the bottom is now an ace. Now you got the block here. So you do the same move. 1, you show back, you could show it at this point. 2 like that, add jug, place it in position. You could do that if you want again. And now you need to do 2 adjustments. 1 card is push back, and 1 card, the bottom card is push up. So you go from underneath is that, like that. You push this one slightly up, and this one slightly down, right? So you got a situation, you're going to have 2 leap. Now, the excuse I do that, I said, this is the ace of, so they say the ace of spade. I said, well, in France, it's called the ace of diamonds, because this is the card's missing. So it's ace of, you call it the ace of spade. And now when I go here, by showing, and said, what do you call this one? That's when I'm going to do the first move. So with that, I take my hand away. That's what will happen. Watch. The cards will change to the ace of diamonds, right? So that's the first one. But my hand is here, so you can't see the move. As soon as you do that, I will take the tie, but now I'm using that as a tie. Watch very close the ace of diamonds, watch. Yeah? It's just gone very quickly, because the move here, if you do very slowly, it will go like that, and you do. But by using a cloth or tie, it's impossible to see, watch. Yeah? It's too quick, right? So you take the 2 cards, you show. Now again, you could push up the cards on top like that, you show. And now you take a break on the top cards only. So you take 1 ace, 2 ace, and you take a block of 3, but now you can't just push it like that, you will see the ace. So you just lift your thumbs here, take the 2 cards on the bottom, like these 2 cards, right? 1 card face up, 1 card face down. So let me readjust it. So you go there, and you're going to push this card forward, the ace of clubs, and you're going to leave the card like that. So now you got this situation, is 1 card, 2 cards, but now you got 2 cards on top. This card go forward like that. As soon as they pass the ace of clubs, the fingers will push this one back, right? So you're here, you push the card like that. Now the card is gone, you carry on pulling forward, and it's only 1 card left, right? So you're here. This card is on top. You do a bottom palm of the card like that, and you just relax. Relax. You say, oh, the last one's a little bit more difficult. Watch. It's gone. And now you could do fake shuffle if you want to, make no difference. And so I'm going to find the 4 aces. Watch. And you do a pass from the top card like that, very quickly, right? So if you do that, it's up. So the first card is just a pair from nowhere, right? Because 1 card was on top, it's actually now on the bottom, right? Now you show these cards, drop on the table. At the same time, you do take a break on the next 2 cards, and you do the same move for 2, right? Now you got another card, a pairing, the second ace. But now you take the 2 cards together, right? So you have to take it from here. These cards go on top. You hold it this way. It's very important you hold it that way, because at one point you're going to do that, but not yet. So you take these 2 cards like that. You do a Charlie cut. The fingers go inside the break and pull the ace of clubs, right? You hold this card like that. Now you got 3 cards. And the misdirection is that. So you go up by pretending you look for the card, but now you just find the 4 cards and pretend that's the ace of the last ace of spades, and no, it's already there, right? So it's from here to here and back here, and you go the 4 aces. Make sense? Pablo aces. That's another routine with the ring I did yesterday, so we're going to run this clip. You have a ring I could borrow for 5 seconds? I give it back. Yes. It's a good ring? Oh, whoa. That's not a bad ring, sir. Keep an eye on my hand. Watch. Show a ring. Show a pen. Keep an eye on the pen. Where's the pen? Oh, sorry. Pardon. I do it again. Watch my hand. 1 time. 1, 2. Give me my pen. I give a ring back. Honestly, where's the pen? Oh, sorry. How must I put it in my shit? So I show my hand. Nothing in my hand, but in my pocket. In my pocket, right in the middle, should be 1 ring. Right there, same ring. Exactly the same ring. Oh, I can't even take it off. It's a great ring. You do double check here? Double check, yeah? So, I was telling you that. What do you do? Oh, let me see. Oh, that's great. Thanks. All right. Let me see if I could get it in my wallet. because inside my wallet, I also work for the French police. Inside, one ring, double check it. Same one? Yeah. Good. Very good. Right, so the ring tricks, this is very commercial. There's nothing really difficult to do. A lot of people use it. The only thing I do is I use that as a clip with a holder, right? So it's a holder. I use a Louis Vuitton because I think it's nice when you show something. It's kind of nice. So I made it myself. I just put the, how do you call that, the rail, right? So inside I modified it. So it's a real Louis Vuitton, no from a fake one, you know. Right. So that's it, and that's all on my back pocket on my belt, right? So it's here. Hang on. The reason I do that, you don't need to do that. You could have it on the back pocket, but for me, it's very easy to. It's very easy to pick it up because it's high, right? So you're ready very quickly. You don't have to look inside like that, and the pickup as well when you open it up is very quick. I like things very smooth and fast. So you have a ring on you, lady? No. May as well come in. Thank you. Just like that. I will explain a couple of things I do as well. Oh, sit down, please, if you don't mind. Now, there's two things I didn't do as well, and that is very important. When I ask for somebody for a ring, I say, oh, that's a great ring. I tell you what, I'm going to tell you how much is the ring. I don't want everybody knows. And when I'm going to pretending I'm going to tell you how much it is, I will tell you, put the ring back on your fingers later. So he understand. He said, put your ring back in my finger. Okay, got that, right? So you got that message, right? So now I do the routine. I show the ring, and I'm already ready there. I think it's a little bit too big, this one, for the clip. Yeah, it's a little bit too big. So we try not to do it because it will drop. So I start by the first thing. So you hold the key, you hold it like that. I don't want to drop it, yeah? So I'll do slowly like that. So I will release. Do you have a smaller ring? Anybody have a small ring? Yeah? Can I take that? Put it back. Thank you, sir. Because if I drop... Okay, so thank you. So let's say that's the same. Can you put this one on your fingers as well for later, right? Okay, perfect. So that's the ring. Okay, now I'm already there, right? So you hook the things like that, and the move is very simple. You just pretend to grab it, and when you come close to the jacket, you release it, hold it like that, and I look again. I say, watch, ring is gone, right? So I pull my sleeve. I say, where's your ring? Inside. So that's the first effect. I open it up. You got the first things. It's right there, right? And I take the ring and I go, oh, I put it back here. Oh, it's in my pocket. So you could do all sorts of things like that. I like to jazz it as well with that. 1, 2, 3, and I go, oh, no, but back here, oh, back in my pocket. Whatever I do is for leading for one thing later. Because at one point I said, oh, here's a ring. Could you hold the ring? And I'll do the same thing. I give a ring back to the guy, and I go like that. I say that, oh, I forgot to tell you, I never used a ring in the beginning. Do you still got your ring? And he got it like that. And that's what I'm looking for the reaction. And I give a ring back to this guy. Thank you, sir. And let me explain a couple of things here. I do a lot of things with a string and a ring, right? So you got all this move, a ring to go through the string and things like that. And it's great. And you get a great effect. But what people remember on that routine is how the hell this ring come back on that guy's fingers. And they will all talk about that rather than, oh, how did he get through the... Oh, that's great, but they're never going to mention that. They will mention, how did it get back on your fingers? Because I told you to put it on your fingers. Sometimes you don't need to do that. You could just do that, and the guy will hold it in his hand. Or if you give me the ring, that's another way to do it. You said, oh, that's a great ring. Watch, I can make it disappear, and it's back on your finger. Only kidding, I got it here. But if you hold it like that, now I'll do that, and now most of the time, he will put it back on his fingers, right? Because he understands as a joke in the beginning, but the people will say, did you feel that? And you go, no. And that's what I'm looking for. Exactly like the same thing with a card behind the back, to get someone involved and people go, wow, oh, that's great. Does that make sense? Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Thank you very much. We're going to show you a little clip I did yesterday, and I think it worked very well for the reaction. It's a very simple coin tricks with a glass and two coins. So if we could have a clip of the coins in a glass. This time I'm going to use 2 coins. You're going to do the same effect. Let me see if I got another coins. So here's a £2 for you and a 2p for your friends, right? So you could examine that as well. Make sure it's a 2p. And we're going to use one of my banknote. I don't know if you could see from here. Yeah, this is my mother-in-law. I'm going to use a glass. And what is it, £2? £2, okay. And I take the 2p as well. Thank you, lady. And I'm going to pull my sleeve. So the only thing you have to do is that. Can you do that? Oh, you're good, you're good. So here we go, £2 and 2p. Now, could you give a little clap to this lady before she performs the tricks? They love you, they love you, they love you, they love you. Oh, she loves you more. She's like, wait, she's the star tonight. So you can choose someone here as well, maybe a front row, second row, any person you want. Which one would you like? Choose someone.
Emily.
Emily, okay, so Emily, you stay where you are. I'm going to place the 2 coins like that. And you can take the banknote and you hold it in your left hand. And like that, underneath the table, like that, don't move. And one of these 2 coins, so you have to ask your friend, which coin does she want? The £2 or the 2p?
£2.
Would you like to change your mind?
No.
Would you like to change your mind? Okay, so she wants the £2. So you have to keep the £2 inside the table, and the 2p have to go through the table, bang, straight through the table, inside your left hand, right? Okay. So can everybody see the £2 and the 2p? So very slowly, the right hand, you shake it like that, very slowly. Carry on, step it, stop. Now watch. It's only 1 coin, right? So £2. She said, £2, could you turn the £2 upside down? It's only 1, right? And your left hand, could you take your left hand away? And very slowly open the paper. Inside it should be the 2p, the one she didn't want. Is it? Oh, it is the 2p. She's amazing, she's amazing. Okay, so I could see and I could hear people say, yeah, coin's unique, right? And it's exactly what it is, it's coin's unique. But the reason I do that is because I want to, I mean, it doesn't give credit to what I did yesterday, but to put a show. And for me, to make it theoretical, to make it something strong, again, to use somebody on the table. So I will ask her, maybe a lady or whoever there, or somebody who's important, the bride, and so, oh, the bride, oh, you have to show a trick to everybody. So she feels really important. She feels like she's going to do her things, right? So the coin's unique. The only difference on this coin's unique is a magnetic one, right? And when you separate, you have 2 ways. If you have the old one, you have to go like that, you know. But this one, you don't have to. It's holding in your fingers like that. And as soon as you touch the coins, this one will come out, right? So it's automatically from here, you hold it, and can you see that? It's already out, right? So when it's out, you just take the 2 coins in your right hand. This one is finger palm, and you just drop it on the table. And you leave it here, nothing happens. So you got 1 coin in your hand. You relax, and you say to this person, and also just a little thing is nice when you ask the person, say, would you like to do a trick? Yeah, or could you, everybody give a clap to this arch? So everybody clapped around the table, and everybody said, what happened? She get to do the tricks, you know, so I'm not doing anything, kind of lazy man, you know. And you take a serviette, very easy. Take a serviette, so you got the coins like that. You rub the coins around very clearly like that. It looks like it's nothing, just all that in your hand. That go underneath the table, and that's automatic tricks. So you said, which coins would you like? Magician force, would you say 2p? Okay, we're going to make the 2p disappear. You say the £2, okay, we keep the £2, the 2p will disappear, right? Now look, it's a little subtlety here. When you take the glass, it looks like it's too far apart. So it's a reason when you take the £2, place it on top of the 2p. And now you could place the glass on top. It makes sense, right? Now that's the situation. She's here. She's slowly going, can you do that? And you got the first effect. Wow, the coins disappear. I said, I don't want to touch the coins. Could you turn it over? She turned it over. It's 1 coin clearly disappeared. Take your hand away. Hold it, open it up. If it's a 2p, everybody have to clap. She's amazing. You could add it up here to get some clap. She opened it up. And inside is a 2p, and you get the end of the trick, and it will go, wow, man, say, great trick, come on! Now, it's just a little parenthèse here. I don't know if you say that in English. Parenthèse? Ooh. Well, I will use parenthèse. Parenthèse. It's all started like that, and I explained it's nice when you do a tricks, try to involve the tricks and make it better and better, right? And I think the outcome of this trick for me worked because it's all the element who will make it work. In the beginning, I used to do that, and you see what I try to explain. That's what I used to do. I got 2 coins like that. I got 2 things, and I got 2 coins. Sir, name a coins. What would you like? £2 or 2p? £2, watch. £2 on the table, hop, you got 2p. Hey, what happened here? I'm making the trick myself. I try to, hey, I'm good, right? That's the reaction. You got a feeling of people say, well, yeah, it's a great trick. He must have palmed the coins over. After that, I used to do that, the same effect. So I used to ask, so I do the things, and I ask somebody, oh, could you give me a hand? So I transfer the coins on this hand, transfer here, and say, give me a hand, open your hand, there's nothing in your hand, and I drop the coins on that person's hand, close your hand, place it underneath there. Which coins you want? 2p. Oh, 2p's disappear. Open your hand. Wow, give her a big clap. Now, what happened? She felt that. She know that. She know exactly the way it works. It doesn't matter. Everybody doesn't know the way it works, but she knows. So it's just an element. You fool everybody, but just one person you haven't fooled. So on this cloth, eliminate everything. She doesn't have no clue what happened. Nobody knows. She doesn't know. And there's the same effect, but you hide everything. So there's the evolution of the trick slowly to get it better and better and better. With the good help of a good friend, David Jarre, and Eric Leblond, who helped me on developing a few things like that. Yeah? Thank you. Shall we have a clip on the
Yeah,
watch
let's take a
tricks?
look. Yeah, sure.
We have a clip, so it's easy to watch. The watch trick. You know, I'd quite like to have one more go at the watch because that watch was too expensive and I couldn't do the trick I wanted to do. Anybody have a cheaper watch? On a bag. You have like one guy. Could you come around, sir? Because I want to try this trick to try to nail it. And thank you, sir. Thank you. I like your style, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
you.
And would you mind to sit down for 2 seconds?
Yeah,
Is that
sure.
right? Oh, that's better. Now, same gag, same time. It's changed like that, and it changed. Whoa! Ah, no, it didn't. It's actually 310 this time. It's different. So the idea is you give me a hand flat, and you're going to decide what you want to do. So you can see the big hand like that on the watch, yeah. And when I move like that, you just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. So dead on that should be 9 o'clock. Have a look. What time is it? Is it 9 o'clock?
Oh. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, it worked! Thank you. That's all I wanted to do. So on the performance, I took a watch that didn't work, another one didn't work, and the last one kind of worked. So I was kind of relieved. But sir, could you ask you to borrow your watch? Is that all right? Can I borrow your watch? But you may as well come here for 5 seconds, because I will do explanation as a... Everybody, David Blaine's neighbors! Please sit down. Please sit down if you don't mind. So the first thing I do when I take somebody's watch, you have to be very careful. Expensive watch, you have to be careful, because what I'm going to do is to pull the... How do you call that? The stamp, right? Stamp? Okay. So I'm going to do that. So I will pull it slowly like that. And I just double check it if, yes, that works. So I just pull it slowly. It happened once. I took the things and it come out, right? And it was a Pradier Philips watch. And I was like in an issue. What do I do? Should I do that? Or shall I give my business card? And I did give my business card. So I'm sorry, the watch broke. And the guy said, well, he's a Pradier Philips. I said, yeah, I know he's a Pradier Philips. And he sent me an email. This is a true story. He sent me an email. And he said, well, I got an email. It's about £2,000 to repair. I said, well, I'm insured. I'm going to do that. And following morning, he sent me another email. And he said, well, I talked to Pradier Philips, the company. It's going to do it for free, right? So I said, relief. I said, well, that's fine. Thank you very much. He said, but on Sunday, this is a true story. On Sunday, I got my birthday for my boy. Would you come and do it? I said, yeah, I'll do it. I come up. I was relief. So I went to do the party of his boy. And I did like 2 hours in Hilton Park in London. Beautiful party. And the guy in the end, he said, let me give it. I said, I do not want any money. Thank you, sir. So now I insist. He gave me a big envelope with a lot of money. And I couldn't refuse, so I put it in my pocket. So the little story there, if you take this watch, make sure it's a very expensive watch, because if you break it, you may get a party out of it. Right? So first step, I did a push like that. Now I do the jogs. I show and I said, oh, watch, you're going to see a coincidence. And I place it like that. And I say, look, same time on my watch. So you get funny. Now I do very on purpose to move the watch this way, right? So everybody sees moving. And I said, oh, and I'm going to read it upside down. So if it was 9:30 now, I will call it 4 o'clock. I said, oh, look at that. It's 4 o'clock. So everybody knows the watch is upside down. I said, really? It's upside down? I let them tell me. I said, it was upside down. Oh, really? Now I do that, and as soon as I do that, I show the move here. These fingers will move the watch, the big hand, one way to the other. So it will go this way, watch. The big hand's moving. Now dead on 10 o'clock, right? So now I try to remember it was 10 o'clock, and I said to the person, oh, give me your hand like that, the other hand if you don't mind. Place it in your hand, and just don't too much. But I'm going to, this is why I'm using a big watch as well. You can look at the big hand of the watch, and when I move, like, imagine it's moving, and you can say stop any way you want. Now it's all about timing. You have to stop exactly on the 10 o'clock. So I move it slowly, and I talk up to 10 minutes before. So I said, see, imagine it's moving, and when you say stop, you say stop. So as soon as I'm not saying anything, I carry on, stop. And I call it whatever it is. I said 10 o'clock. Even if my fingers is slightly before the 12 or after, I will call it 12 o'clock, right? Sometimes it happens, the guy doesn't say stop, I carry on all the way down because I have to carry on, and he says stop here. I said, let's ask somebody else, and I carry on like that. And then one more person, and I go like that, and I make a joke, but I want to get 10 o'clock anyway. So 10 o'clock, we open your hand, and what time can you see there? Exactly 10 o'clock. And I look surprised, I say, really? And I look at the watch, and as soon as I see the time, I look at that, I'm going to do the reverse thing. So I'm going, can you see a close-up on top? And I'm going to push the needle back exactly at the same time it used to be. So you see that is moving back exactly as it is. And at that point, I'm going to push the click like that. So you're right, it was 10 o'clock. I'll tell you what I do. I'm going to keep this watch. And now that's the same thing Gary cut. I put the watch in, pretend to place it in my pocket, go back straight in my wallet. I open my wallet and said, well, you tell you what, you could have my watch. This is a beautiful watch. It's exactly like yours, but it's got the right time. And it's exactly the same time you gave it to me. Exactly the same time, so you could have a watch back. And it was great, thank you. Like I said, this trick is very strong for people because you borrow a watch for someone, but also because you get this, I think it's a lot of gag will make it work. Gags, funny, wow, and the watch is here, the watch is back. It's adding things on top, on top, on top. So you don't want to do too much, but if you had tiny things on top, people go, they can't really trace it what you've done because it's, how did he, some people said, how did he get the watch in his wallet, you know, so they kind of forget what you've done. And the whole picture is one time being changed to any time they wanted. And I think it's very strong. Whatever you could borrow, like a ring, anything from people, if you could do tricks with them, I think they like it. It's very strong for that. Yeah. Now we're going to show the card in bottle. Here we go. So it's very easy. So you're going to shuffle. Oh, sit down, sit down. Please sit down. And you're going to shuffle the card as much as you want. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are you happy with that, or you want a little bit more? You want to shuffle a little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not too much, mate. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. This is very simple. You see all the cards?
Yeah.
Are they all different cards here?
Yep.
I mean, you're talking like 52 cards, right?
Yep.
So there you go. So we're going to do very slowly this trick, right? So could you stand up for 5 seconds? Actually, we're going to do stand up. Watch close. Say stop.
Stop.
Look at the next card, but don't show it to me. Yeah? Okay? And place it back right there. And now watch. You shuffle the card like that. Yeah? You shuffle it like that. Yeah? See that? A little bit dodgy. A little bit dodgy. Yeah, a little bit dodgy. Yeah. And give me your 2 hands. Now, very slowly. Watch. Say stop again.
Stop.
Now, don't look at this card yet, and make sure the hand is very flat. Say stop.
Stop.
Oh, no.
Stop.
You sure?
Yep.
Now, I think one of these 2 cards could be your card. I could be wrong, but I think this one, the 7 of diamonds, or maybe this one, the 7 of spades. So the 7 of diamonds or 7 of spades. What was your card? 7 of diamonds or 7 of spades?
3 of spades.
3 of spades. Okay, so that's pretty close because 7 minus 7 plus 5 divided by 2, 3. Right, so. You go like that, yeah? You go like that. And you choose one card. Would you like diamonds or spade?
Spades.
Okay, so watch. Yeah? Place your 2 hands together like that, and go like that. Watch. Oh,
Shot.
that was good. That's good. You say the 3 of spade. Watch. If you have. Now, believe me or not, it's exactly the 3 of spade. But it's not. It's not really. It's not really, because the card was the 7 of diamonds. Yeah, the 7. So let me explain the way it works. The way it works. If I show you over the card, can you see anywhere here a 3 of spade? Can you see a 3 of spade? You can see a 3 of spade, right? I'll show you very slowly, right? There's no 3 of spade, yeah? Yeah? So, watch. It's a trick I'm going to teach you, very easy. You're going to name a number between 1 and 5.
4.
Watch. Watch. Oh, I got it wrong. But don't worry. Don't worry. Watch. I do it again. Name a number between 1 and 5.
2.
2. Here we go. Oh, that's a long finger. Happy wife. Watch. Yeah. One card inside, the first spade. And it's exactly your first spade. You could take it back home, Betty, and have a drinks on me, right? Anyway, but thank you. So, like everything, is a funny story about it. On a night, this card in bottle, I've done it for years, and actually, one of the tricks I performed for Penn and Teller wasn't a trick of full vamp, but it was one of the effects the card should be. On the name, it said signed card in bottle, the card should be signed. What happened last night at a performance, I placed some cards in my pocket and I load the card in bottle, and I realized later on when I take the card, I fell another card, and I found out the signed card I was going to put in the bottle was still in my pocket. So I was like, man, I'm in the deep shit. What am I going to do? So I had to go underneath, and we have a little clip. She was amazing. I don't know where you did it, but that was great. Right? I'm going to show you another tricks, but I need to take a pack of cards somewhere here. So if you excuse my French, I'm going to do it here. I have to set it up right there. And I'm going to use this pack of cards. There you go. So somebody help me. Maybe this lady right there. Would you like one more time? Or somebody else, you can ask your first boyfriend. Come around, sir. Here we go. Because what happened, I had the card inside the bottle, the 3 of spade. I had no idea it was a 3 of spade, right? So I'm in a situation with a 3 of spade inside the bottle, and I don't know which one it is. And that's a kind of a lesson to learn when you do tricks and it's go wrong. What do you do? I mean, I know 20 years early in my life, I would have a panic, and I would have said, well, and I would have not done the tricks. I would have done something else. But yesterday I had to do the tricks, so I have to find another way to do it. So it's a kind of try to find a way to do it. So I had to bend down. We'll have a little clip. We probably don't need to show it, but I had to go down, pull the bottle out, have a look, 3 of spade, take another pack of cards, because the 3 of spade I put wasn't in my pack of cards. I'm lucky I had another pack of cards, and that case, on that demonstration, I forced the 3 of spade, and I went on. So it's not as good as a signed card in bottle, but I get away because the guy clearly see the 3 of spade what disappeared and so on. Does it make sense? And I went on top of that. So I think it's nice to try to find a way out, and because they don't know what you're doing anyway when you perform for the real people, you know. So 2 things I did there. Just before that, just a very quick move from a good friend of mine called Bruce Monton showed it to me, and it's not his move, but it does it all the time. When you get the card is on top, you control it on the bottom. Let's say the 7 of hearts. That's a card in a hand, right? You have 2 cards in somebody's hand, and I love that move. So you just reposition your hand like that. You get a break on the bottom card, and you take the top the card on the left. You show the 5 of spade. You eye jog it. So you got these 2 cards like that. The selected card is a 7 of hearts in this case, and you're going to do that. So push it down. So you're going to slide the cards back and drop a 7, but at the same time you show this one, right? So the move is very quick. It's all about timing. And in real life, he said, "Oh, your card could be the 5 of spade or the 5 of clubs." Now I swap this card for the 7 of hearts, right? You could do that, or you could do that move as well. Yeah. So this move I did with a pen is exactly the same thing. You place your fingers here, and you're going to do that, right? So you show, sorry, it was 7. You show the 5. You said, that could be your card, or it could be that card. And now you already changed this card for this one. And after that is a by equivoque, and you force the right hand, you know. And but the main thing is card in bottle. So the setup is very simple. Normally I will have a bottle with a cap like that, and you call it, the cap will be stick on a magnet on the back of my pocket. I don't have that on me today, but let's say it's in this right pocket. The bottle is in a pocket like that. Let me see. I could position it. Here we go. So bottle here. Normally the cap will be here, like I said. It's easy to pick up and seal it. The only move you have to do, let's say the card is a 7 of hearts or a 5 of clubs. Sign, right? So let's do a sign at you to make sure There you go. David Blame. There you go. So you got the card, his palm. At one point, the card is inside my pocket. I will normally say, oh, have you got a coin with you? And at that point, inside my pocket, I roll the card like that. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 roll. That's all I need to do. When I come back here, that's what I do. I drop the card inside the bottle, right? Push it all the way down, like that. This bottle is not ideal because the neck is a bit too tight. So normally you should go in. I could do this one. Yeah, I should don't stack my fingers in it. And you just recap it. But you do it in motion like that so they don't see it, right? So you hear, you say, have you got a coin? And the guy give you a coin. So let's say this coin's right there, right? And the presentation normally I use a lot is this one. No, I'm all set. The card is inside the bottle, is right there. It should be done, a little bit done, but we'll manage that later. That's it. And I said, you remember your card is inside here. So let me shuffle the card like that. And sir, could you place the coins on any card you want? So let's say he placed the coins on this card like that. I said, now watch. Can you see your card? So you look. He cannot see this card, right? And I do a little move. It's just visual, but I quite like it. I go, here's the coins. Here's a card like that. Oh, that's a card. It's very quick. So you just palm the card like that, fake transfer, and you do a back palm, and you just reveal the coins, right? I don't know if it look good on the camera like that. Does it look all right? Like that. So it's a quick change, and you come back here, and you show it's the wrong card, right? Now you need the gag to produce a bottle. So, well, hang on a minute. I'll show you tricks, and you do all these gag about the fingers, what number you want, 4, that's 3. And as soon as you relax, that's what happened. You go back, you take the bottle for the neck, pull it forward underneath the cloth, and you go 1, 2, 3, lift the bottle, and slowly just make the bottle appear. And it's right there, the card is signed and is inside. And it's the right card and it's the right name. Gosh, for that!
I think we have a question up
Yes.
front here. If we can get the microphone over.
I believe in Penn and Teller. You also had that inside a can of wine.
Yeah, the only thing on Penn and Teller, it was a lot of cut. The full routine was the box was sealed, actually sealed everywhere. And when you could see sealed, and I load literally the bottle inside the can, and I open it from a seal thing. So it was open on the bottom, and I take it from inside. So it was a long routine, and I seal on the bottom as well. It was another cap. So it was a lot of things. They cut it. So when I saw the outcome of that, even me, I thought, hang on, fool myself, because it was too much cut. I was like, what, really? But in a way, it was kind of nice because the effect on that routine it should be like that. What people see is exactly what on a video. The card should be disappearing and reappear inside the bottle from nowhere. That's the effect on that, right? So that's credit on that, but it was a lot of cut because the whole routine was much more on that. It was puzzling why it was opening from a seal box, all that. But I didn't put that in. Any other question on that? Oh, if you use this is not the bottle I use in UK. I use like a Schweppes bottle, and because the reason I use it because you got a sticker, and it's quite important on that because the sticker will cover the card. If I ask somebody to sign the card, little detail will make something nice. You have to sign the card this way, right? No long wise or big signature, just like that, because the sticker will just show the 5, right? So when you produce a bottle, you have different effect. You produce a bottle, wow. Is your card inside? At that point, they see the 5. I said, yes, my card, but it can't be my card because my card is signed. It must be a duplicate. So you get a bit of is it really my card? Now you take the sticker off. Now they realize it's their card inside, and they realize it's sealed, and you could give it away like that, yeah? Now also, I used to sell a very good gimmick. I don't have it on me. It's called Reseal, and it's basically you just reseal the cap, manufacturing seal. So you could, it was a great gimmick. You could just push it like that and it reseal the cap. So you could give a bottle and you cannot open it up. It's impossible to open it up. But on my double DVD, I explain all that in detail about you could do it with a contact glue as well. You could do that. When you push it, it's just really strong enough. So it's a different way to do it. Or you could finish like that. You could say, well, let me open it. And you kind of struggle. And you go, that's it. I didn't need to do that, but just pretend. And I just empty the glass, all the water in an empty glass. And I give a bottle with a glass. The reason is If you leave it like that, if you leave it for 10, 20 minutes, it will be all black. And it will become Coca-Cola bottle. So probably that's a new trick I'm going to do. Because later it will be Coca-Cola. The ink will dissolve and it will be black. So maybe I should do that. And you leave it here later on and say, hey, look at that. Back to Coca-Cola, baby. So that's one way to do it. So that's cart in bottle. Just to finish up, to round up the series, we're going to do the bottle fruit table I done, because this is a trick I've done it for years and years and years. And in England, people will book me just to see that trick. So I lectures around. I want to do a special trick here, but I need a bit of space. So actually, I'll try to do that. Bottle of one, and I need a serviette as well, really important. And I also need to borrow a coin. So I don't know if you have any coins I could borrow. Well, I think, you know what, I got a coins. I'm going to use my English, my £2. It's very emotional because it belonged to my granddad. And my granddad, unfortunately, I lost him yesterday. I was in IKEA and old bastard, he must be somewhere. So, here we go. Do you want to double check the bottle? Is absolutely nothing inside, sir? Yeah? I mean, I could use your coins if you have, but if you're happy with that, yeah, is that right? And here we go. So watch close. I should, and here you go. So I'm going to show the tricks, and I'm going to explain the tricks in a minute. So watch very close right there. Watch. There we go. Can you able to see the bottle? Can you see the coins? Yeah? So watch. And use the knife and the coins. Watch. Here we go. Here we go. Watch. Ooh. And now, no coins. Nothing. Nothing to be seen. And now watch. Ah. Ooh, different noise. Thank you. I did it again. Ah. Oh. Right there. Hey. All right, so bottle fruit table based on Nelson. I think it's Nelson gimmick. So basically you need 3 gimmicks. It come up with a box of 3, a green one, a brown one, and a white one. Now, I've done this trick for years and years and years, and I will go in detail a little bit more on that, because I think it's one of the most powerful tricks people could see. Not on this situation. You need to have people around like that, and people will see, and they will go, wow, totally mad. I think it's very, very powerful, that. So for the gimmick, it have to be the same color. And that's where the little story happened to me once. Because one day in Scotland, a very famous place, 12 people, and I had this gimmick. Unfortunately, I took the white gimmick, right? So imagine I don't have it on me. So I put the white on top of a bottle like that, and I realize it's white and the bottle is green. So that doesn't work, right? So I went, when I had, I said, oh, anybody have another coin? Now I swapped the gimmick for the real one. So I put it like that, and I placed the gimmick on top like that, and now it's the right color, green and green. So that worked, and I'm ready to start, right? Nobody noticed it except one guy on my left. He was a big Scottish guy, big beard, looking at me, and he went, that's better like that. So, yeah, great. And I carry on, but I carry on with laughing inside, because I think the guy did it in such a sarcastic way, in a nice way. It made me laugh for years on that. So it's a couple of things here. The noise is really important. The move is really important. The pickup, everything is really important. And the misdirection, you cannot teach misdirection. You have to feel when you have to drop the bottle, because basically you're going to drop it. So when you cover the gimmick, again, all the technique is difficult. You have to hold it in a certain way. Go around like that. Make sure you push it down, otherwise it wobble is no good. You hold the bottle like that. Make sure that doesn't wobble, so you hold it very firm, and you got the shape, right? The serviette is really important as well. You have to be kind of hard serviette, but no soft, otherwise you go like that. The coins, all the gag is important also when you do the tapping. You register the noise. You go that, you show, do the noise again, pretend the coins is here. That is very important. You said, oh, the coins is gone, ha, ha, ha. But why you do that is because you want to go one more noise, another different noise, and say, watch, a noise, tap again, come back here. Now you don't want to drop it too early. Place your fingers here, drop it from here. Now you drop a bottle, come back, and make a noise. Don't do like that, or don't do timing. Yeah. And you push it down like that, slowly show the bottle, show it's right there. To get rid of a gimmick, you just place your fingers here, just come back here, that's drop already, take the things, gone, and it's all done. Yeah? And thank you. And just to finish, the story happened to this same night. I done that. It's funny because you have two things happen in the same night, right? Now, imagine, and it's a true story, this guy totally pissed in the end of the night, 12 Scottish guys, they drink. The Scottish drink a lot, right? And I'm outside, and one of the big guy, and he come and see me, say, hey, I show you exactly. He said, Frenchman, wasn't the same accent, yeah? But I do it like that. Hey, Frenchman, I like the trick with the bottle. That's a great trick, right? Would you teach me? I said, well, I can't teach you. It's a trick, you know. He said, well, I'll tell you what. He took his wallet. I said, I'll tell you, come here, Frenchman. Give me £100 in my hand. I said, well, no, honestly, I can't take it. It's a magic trick, so I can't do that. He said, well, £100, just, no, I'm not going to tell anybody. I said, no, I can't. And now somebody out of nowhere come out, another Scottish guy, with a kilt and everything, with nothing inside. And he come up, and I don't say anything. He said to this guy, what happened? Oh, that French guy, I wanted him to teach a trick with a bottle, right? And he said to him, it's £100. Yeah, no problem. He thinks, well, and he gave me. Now I got £200 in my hand, you know. And at that point I said, you know what? Let's think about it. I got £200 in my hand. They're totally pissed. I'm going to show you the way it's done. 2 minutes later, they will never remember that trick. And I have £200 in my pocket, right? So I said, come here, I'll show you. Why do I got that, right? I said, what was that? Well, it's the thing you put on the bottle and you push it and you go bang like that. That was amazing. He took his wallet out and he go, hey, another 50 quid again. So now I got £250 in my pocket. I got the gimmick back. Literally, what did you do? If I can remember already, you know. And I said, oh, that was great. So I come out and I follow them. I said, do you want to learn any card trick for like 50 quid? I do like a branch of freak. And I got 250 quid in my pocket. I said, oh, forget it. I'll take the money and run, you know. But to finish, I want to show you one of the classics, been teaching by one of the master of magic. It's called Pretty Close, and it's one on my DVD with Gary Jones. You may have met Gary Jones on one of the lectures. I think he's done a lecture for Penguin as well. That's called Pretty Close, and I will dedicate that to Gary Jones. So the lady, one more time, give a big clap. She's coming back all the way. And on my right, if you don't mind. It's called Pretty Close, and it's a very difficult trick to do, so I'm going to show you the way done. So you shuffle the card like that. Very, very pretty close. Great tricks. They've been done on TV in England as well. Look at the card, lady, and just say stop any way you want. You got it? Mm-hmm. And reshuffle the card as much as you want, right? Yeah. You got it? Okay. Now watch. It's called Impossible and called Pretty Close. Look at that. Scare me every time I do it. For first time, name your card.
6 of spades.
Oh, that was pretty close, right? That was pretty close, yeah. Did you say the 6 of spade? The 6 of spade, right? So 6 of spade, watch. Yeah, 6 of spade. Yeah, here you go. Inside my wallet, I got a card right in the middle. For the first time, name your card. That was pretty close again. Thank you, that's great. Appreciate it. So that concludes my show. That's called Pretty Close. It's very difficult to do because you have to get it wrong. Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you. It's good to finish with a good trick, yeah? Now, the only thing I want to show you that is it's called Pretty Close, and I done it with Gary John, a friend of mine. The reason we do that, and I always found fascinating to go to a room with 50 people, and I've done these tricks to 50, 60 people, and do a trick which doesn't work, but get a result in the end when people will clap. Because that doesn't work really on this situation, but if you see some clip I done on the video, you have 50 people clapping for something, it was no effect whatsoever. I said it's pretty close. Well, it's pretty close, right? And I take the cards and I open a wallet and it's another card, it's pretty close. I say, that was pretty close, give a big clap, she was great. And everybody go, wow! They don't know what happened. She thinks, well, what's happened? But everybody clap because you push people to think is something happened, but nothing happened. Conclude. Thanks, Penguin Magic. Au revoir.
Keep it going for Etienne Pradier.
Hey.
Yeah. Etienne, come on over here. Join me. I've got another bottle of water for you right there.
Cool.
Have a seat. We'll just talk a little bit. It's been a long time since we've had somebody here who's done as much stuff in as short a time. That was a lot of material to cover, and all fantastic stuff. But your style is relatively fast-paced, and there's a lot of things happening during each of the routines in general.
I think it's because I work a lot, and for me, the timing. When you work in a real situation, you have to drop a lot of effect, but to move and move and move. For me, it's no. My style is not to do a trick and take a long time and sit down. It's not my style. So it's to be trick after trick after trick, and all based on entertainment.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that a big influence was your father. You had mentioned that.
Yeah,
earlier.
my father was quite influenced. It's like I said, he was an easy guy to go with. He was kind of cool guy. I mean, he's still alive. So, but he was a guy who would stand up on the stage and do some jokes. No fear whatsoever. So I think for me, I don't stress when I perform. If I stress, I will turn that, like Andy Neyman said once, turn the stress to excitement.
Yeah.
So you turn it to excitement and be, like I said, be natural, be easy with people, be cool. And people will, if I like you, they'll carry on watching what you do. And
So your dad was kind of like the life of the party, that kind of person where people just would invite him to events because he was so much fun to be around.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to be as long as somebody's not obnoxious, and you're not, and that's important to learn. What that rule is, how much you can get away with people, and they still
never try to cross the line, but. In comedy, I mean, I do a lot of comedy when I work. It's a risk. Like every comedian will take a risk, but sometimes you slightly go off the line, but try to always be nice, Maybe also because I'm French in England, and I perform a lot in England, mainly in England and in Europe. But in England, I get away with a little bit more cheekiness and things like that, because I'm French,
Right, sure.
So you could get away with that.
Yeah, you can kind of.
I think so.
There's a few of your jokes that are specifically like that, where
you could be a bit cheeky a little bit, but is a character without being a character. You know? So for me, it's important to be a character, but drop as well to become normal, and that's really important for business, because if you're always in character, I don't think the guy will book you, because he think, well, it's too much. I don't want this guy to be too much in my party. But if he understands you're kind of nice guy and you could come out of character, so when you talk to him outside, and I always ask questions to people, because it's easy for a guy to ask you a question. Hey, so how long you been doing a magician? What did you do? And you work for the Queen and all that. And you start to talk about yourself too much, and it starts to look like you have a big ego. For me, I believe I got no ego. But so it's why I will ask him a question. They say, what do you do? Yeah. And he feels interested because I'm interested on him rather than talking about myself, and I hate doing that.
Sure.
And the guy will remember that. Say, well, this guy was a good magician, but he's a nice guy,
Yeah.
I like to have him in my party.
And I think that's one of the most important things is to actually be a nice guy, to be genuinely interested in people and enjoy their company.
I'm interesting to people. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but I like asking questions. I like to know what they do. But in business, you need to do that as well a little bit more to make sure that you don't get trapped by talking to yourself all the time. That's I think is really important.
Now, how long have you lived in England?
About 30 years.
So about 30 years or so. And what did you find when you first moved there?
Obviously the language was a big barrier in the beginning,
Sure.
So you have to go from that. Working was hard in the beginning, but I quickly understand. More you do work, more you get business.
Now, were you a magician full time?
No, I was working as a fashion designer.
You were in fashion, right?
I worked in Paris for about 7 years as a fashion designer. So I came to England. I worked a little bit in fashion there for about a year, and one guy said, "Do you want a job on a boat?" So I was doing a bit of magic, and the guy said, I said, "Well, what is that?" So you have to go to Singapore and be on a cruise. get a lot of money and do some tricks. I said, you know what, I'll jump on it. And it's quite an interesting story there because I met another guy and he said, I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to go there for 7 months. And, you know, be honest, I'm really stressed. He said, you know what? Because after I told him what the money was, he said, don't get stressed now. Get stressed when you're there. He said, don't worry about it. Stress when you get there. So I said, yeah, all right. So I went there, and I got there, and the first guy said, I tell you what, here's a show for 250 people. All the top boss want to see you. And I was jet lagged, and I had to come on stage, and that's a big lesson because I have to project very quickly. And I thought, you know what? Never mind. I'll just go and do it. And it wasn't great, but I had the ball to actually do it, you know. And I thought, you know what? Forget it. I'll just do it. And I've done so many different parties with just to go and do it. I don't care. For me, I don't put any barrier or stress because that's why you start to struggle, you know.
Right. Yeah, you're just enjoying what you do, and if you enjoy what you do,
if you enjoy, this is the key. If you enjoy it, and I had a conversation with other magicians that tell me, well, I don't really like my job as a close-up, you know, working around. I said, well, I like my job, and they were surprised. Yeah. I said, I love it. I just every party I go, I give 200%. I just throw myself in and enjoy it. And it does show for people to see that. If you try to hide you don't like it, it does show as well.
Yeah.
So it's very important to like what you do. And we're lucky to have a job as we got.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing that you mentioned in passing, as though it's no big deal, is that you perform for the Queen.
Yeah.
But you know, and there's the old joke that you know, I perform magic for the Queen of England.
John.
At least that's who he said he was.
Yeah, John.
Right. And actually, what he said is, if you can do that, I'm the Queen of England. That's that's a very old joke. But what was it like?
Well,
how did first of all, how did the event come about? How did you get invited?
I mean, I said the Queen, but I'm known for that, but it's more Prince Charles and Prince William and all that.
Sure.
Queens I only done once, and that's it. But the Prince Charles and William, I do quite a lot. And I actually put a lot of work for every year for Prince Charles party, including Penn and Teller. In fact, perform with me in Windsor Castle. But it come across with one very important thing, to be in the right place in the right time. And that you can't, there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, but you got to be prepared for those moments.
You have to look for this chance.
Right.
You can't just sit back and say, "Well, hang on, I'm waiting for maybe the Queen's arriving."
And then I'll learn magic.
A knock on the door. It's not the Queen. Let's work on the way.
Yeah.
So, short story. I'm in a village, and the guy, a good friend of mine, said, "Do you want to do my party for my daughter?" So I said, "Well, I'm in London. I could come back, but it'll be 11 o'clock. It's a bit too late. Forget it, you know." But I know the guy very well. And, you know, I didn't really know exactly what he was doing. And I said, okay, you tell you what, as soon as I arrive, I come and do 30 minutes. I'll pay you. I said, no, I don't want any money. I just popped in. So I went there, did like 30 minutes, and one of the guys was here, said, give me your cards. I gave him my cards like you do. Very important, you always have material to give. Mm-hmm. So I give my cards, and nothing happened. After 6 months later, I got a call. This guy said, you want to do a party? St. James. I said, well, yeah, that's nice. You know, I thought it was a corporate party. I get there was Prince Charles, right? But what happened, the guy was there, was buying pictures to my friends and sell it to Prince Charles. So he was the agent of Prince Charles. So if I didn't turn up on that day, I would have never had all the job, the opportunity to open doors to work for a royal family. Yeah. So it was just an opportunity, and again, right time and the right place, and I was lucky to be there. But now I do a lot of work for them. So
yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the first time that you did work for them. What is the process like? Is there a lot of security that you got to go through?
The protocol is
what's that like?
Big, but you have to go through all the security things first. I was lucky; they checked me out and I was clean on that. But it's just to go there. But for me, again, I wasn't stressed to perform for them. It's a funny story I could tell you with Prince Charles. I took his watch 3 times. Yeah. Okay. And so I took the first time I took his watch. The second time I took his watch. And now it's why every time he greet me, he go like that. But the third time was quite funny because he said to me, I remember St. James' big table, and he said, okay, Etienne, so he come up and I said, yes, Your Highness, because you have to call him Your Highness. He said, could you take the watch from my friend over there? You know, it's got a lovely watch. So I go around and I saw this guy, and he's got like this big watch you can't take. Yeah. You know, you could take it, but I can't be bothered to take it. So I go back to him and say, yeah, I will do that in 2 minutes. But in the same time, I took his watch again. And I put it in my wallet, and I go around the other side, and I said to everybody, I said, sir, inside my wallet, I got a watch. And I showed to this guy, and the guy go, that's not my watch. And Prince Charles go, oh no, come on, give it back. And that moment is priceless.
It's hilarious,
It was
yeah.
absolutely hilarious. And it's the only time I fall a bit shaking because he was so powerful the
Sure.
moment, and he realized the last 3 times I took it. So that was quite interesting. but you know, he's a good guy. If you know him, Prince William's good. You know, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah. Now, so about how many times have you performed?
Oh, I
for
do a
them?
lot. Every Christmas, I get some people in St. James to perform for Christmas party. Like I said, for Penn and Teller, I put quite a lot of magicians there. So a lot of guys, I put it, a lot of names. I don't want to mention all the names, but they do their act, and they perform for them and few people.
Yeah. What's the event like? Do they set up? Do you do any like walk around stuff? Obviously,
it's
you're
always the
mingling,
same things.
But do they have a big stage show?
Yeah.
as well?
So when I work in Windsor, you got a big stage, and you go to the Royal there and all their friends, and you do a stage show. But when I'm in St. James, it's different. The St. James is the Christmas party for all the staff. So you got some very important people, but the Royal come and shake your hand and thanks to everybody. So I entertain people with maybe another guy to do close-up, and I will put someone on stage. So after that, they sit down, you know, they all sit down properly. We do the stage show, and we go and have some photos and have a little chat and things like that. So it's always the same sort of things. you know.
Do any of the magicians ever do such a bad act that they behead them?
No.
And off with their head?
No,
Does that
but
ever
I
happen?
could tell you a very funny story
Okay,
about
all
that.
right, what?
It's a guy called George J, the American magician, Joshua J.
Joshua
J.
J, yeah.
And it's very funny story. I just come back. So I got the tricks from him. It's called. It's basically you got the matchbox.
Sure, yeah.
And then you got the queen inside, right?
What do you call that?
Burn or
It wasn't scorched. Is that? Am I right?
do you know the tricks?
Inferno.
Inferno, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
So I got
very
these tricks in November. In December, I got to the royal family and I do that. And I start to do these tricks and something I never do. I never take a trick of someone and keep the same script. And his script, he said, okay, so imagine you got 4, eliminate the red and black, is 4 queens, right? And it's one of them is going to burn, which queen you're going to save. And I'm doing that like 2 or 3 times. And suddenly a guy comes and says, look, it's a bit risky to do that.
Yeah,
and,
let's not talk
you know,
about burning
and
the
I
queen.
realized, I said, oh my gosh, I mean, in a royal place talking about the Queen of Art burning.
no.
You want to save the Queen of Art? And you got all these Diana things. And like, oh gosh, I just put the things in a bin and said, I don't want
That's it.
And I told George, I said, you could use it for your lecture. Because I thought it was and it's a true story. I was like, wow, man, only me could happen something like that. I was freaked out. The wrong place to do a trick like that.
Yeah. Well,
Wrong place.
speaking of being in the wrong place, you told me a little bit of a story, but I want to hear the whole thing. You once performed for a wedding. Right. About 3 hours of work for them.
Yeah. So,
tell me a little bit more about how it went.
I mean, you have to put in picture. I could do 3 weddings on one day.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, I come to this wedding, a big place, and I see the people here. And really late for my first wedding. I just jumped, and I started to do the tricks. And I said, "Is Claire the bride?" Yeah, it's Claire. Okay, good. So I carry on, go and sit down to the table. And some people come to see me and said, "Hey, you've been paid?" I said, "Yeah, it's all sorted. Don't worry, it's all paid. You know, carry on." "Oh, that's great. You're good magician. You know, hey, that's good." Yeah. So I'm doing that, and I go back home. The guy, "Thank you. Oh, we're so grateful to having you." And I give him my card. "Oh, Magician of the Year was great. Thank you so much." I thought it'd be strange, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't notice much when that. I go back home, and then the machine push a button like that, and I said, "What the hell was you? I was waiting for you for 4 hours. You never turned up in my wedding." Basically, 2 or 3 minutes away was another wedding. The bride was called Claire. My bride was called Claire, and I done for 3 hours, rag on, full show. And so I was one party they got a very good deal because it was free, and the other one was really pissed off because I didn't turn up.
Oh no!
So I phoned the other people and I said,
Yeah.
"Look, I made a mistake. I wasn't going to be at your wedding." "Oh, well, that was great. You know, it was a good show." "Well, we can't thank you enough." So I wanted to get the money from them
Sure,
because I have to
right.
pay them back. You
Yeah.
know. And I said, "No, it was great. Yeah, no negotiation."
No,
so,
no.
but in the end, I got 2 parties out of that. So. I put a little bit more money to
Right.
get the money
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
But it
man.
was like, wow, it's first time happened. It was like shocking, you know.
Yeah.
I was feel bad for that. Woman.
Yeah, of
So
course, for the one
I give,
that
I
did-
give a
that-
free show again to this
Did you?
lady
Yeah, of course.
and
You have to,
explain
and
all
that's the
that.
thing, you know.
That's it.
You have to
Could happen.
treat them well, no matter what
Yeah,
happens,
that's
right?
it.
Yeah. Now, in the performances here, you showed the ring flight that you do,
Yep.
and everybody's always had some problems with that.
You got hundreds of stories. Like
There's
that.
so many things that have happened. So,
Mine was slightly different. It's a funny ending of stories. I'm in London. It's a race floor about just that much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing a training. Give a ring back to a lady. She drop it. Can't find it. The ring's totally gone. And I'm start panicking. The lady said, well, I said, look, honestly, we can't find the ring. So now in my head, I'm thinking, waiter saw it, take it. She started to say the big diamonds, you know. But, you know, are you insured? I say, yeah, I'm insured. I go to the company, it's Sotheby's, and it's quite a famous company in London who they estimate and sell things on. So they know about things like that, and if I have their clients, so they said, oh, Etienne, we got a call for this lady, and she's going to want about 200 grand, you know, for the ring. And I said, well, I'm insured, you know, I have to go through insurance. I thought, gosh, you know what, I'm going to go back to the place, because it must be there. And I remember the race floor. So I went with a friend of mine, Paul Martin, my best buddy, and he got a little torch like that. So we saw the board, a little hole right there. So we opened the board and touched the torch, and we saw the ring. So we pick up the ring. Oh, thank God for that. So we, following day, I went to Sotheby's, the company, give a ring back. They look at it, they estimate it. It was worth about £200, right? So basically, she tried to sue me for 200 grand
200 grand,
or something. So she must have felt bad when we said we found your ring back.
Yeah.
And I feel relief because I thought, gosh, you know what? I didn't have a 200 grand anyway. So that was, but the true story was
Oh
like,
yeah,
wow.
that could have turned out really
Oh
bad.
man, it would
Sure.
have been so bad.
Sure. Yeah. I know that you have plans of a new book, right?
Well, I got a few books. I got new books in French, and because I've been in England for 30 years, a company is called Ludo, the Martial Magic in France. They've done a full, all my tricks basically, well, not my tricks, but the best of my things. So in French, I'm really happy with it because I never had any French stuff.
No, it's
funny
fantastic.
to be
I'm
French
sure
and have no
there
restrictions.
will be many fans
But,
of yours
yeah.
tuning in that
Well,
will be
that's it,
interested to
but
get it.
I got two or three books in English and got a double DVD or repertoire of Etienne Pradier that sell a lot. I got the FISM Act on tape. I got the one I did with Gary Jones called The Bloody Dogs, and it's basically got 10 tricks who don't work. So I guess send you one for your Christmas.
Yeah, send
It's
it to
10
me
tricks that don't work.
because I find that stuff absolutely hilarious. You
Yeah.
and I before the lecture we sat
That's
down and
right.
showed each other a couple of nonsense tricks.
And again, it's nice to do something that don't work, but you could make it entertaining.
I love
and that's the key.
I love the one just for me.
Just for me. Yeah,
that-
solo
that-
para mí.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
which
don't
is a lot of work for
I
nothing.
don't do that often, but I'll do it time to time to just cheer me up sometime, you know, when I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I like to do something a bit unusual, you know, but that's a good DVD as well because Gary John is a very funny guy as well, so we work together and we explain all the tricks that don't work actually like a proper explanation.
Sure.
So that's the key. That's the actual-
It sounds fun. I want to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely want one.
Yeah, I will.
Please send it to
You'll
me.
have
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a real pleasure having you here. Our audience last night enjoyed you so much, and in fact, the cameramen were commenting that they haven't laughed as much for somebody.
Good, thank you very much.
And I know that means a lot to you because
Yeah.
it's entertainment first.
For me, it's all
for
entertainment. If
what we
they're
do.
not happy, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes, but
Yeah, and we all had a great time here too. Another
Well, I
big
had a
round of
great time.
applause for
Hey!
Etienne Pradier. Nice job. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next time.
thank you so much.